and or a clone, so I can't even have this conversation.
Well, the good news is
That there's no brown watchtower?
the good news is that I now have this guy right where I want him. I have the element of surprise against him.
Give me a element of surprise to start off with, and he won.
All part of your cunning plan, I'm sure.
Little did he know that by torturing me horribly and murdering me, he was playing right into my hand.
Taking your stuff and like all your gear and your spell book and...
Yes, he was playing right into my hand.
The
My
master
plan.
I can't wait to see how this turns out. This is apparently some sort of epic poem. Come on, show me off.
It's a Xanatos gambit.
My plan is great.
Oh.
It's not being
Alrighty.
impressed by the malefic well.
Your pan is late. Okay,
So-
let's drag our asses to the Red Army before we all die of laughter.
Fulton and Garazin.
Yep. Assholes
You-
took my stuff and won't let me take a bath. I officially don't like the guard right now.
Yeah. Fulton, let's see here.
In my
You,
comrade's life.
I'm trying to remember here. I believe you were still wearing. How much of your armor were you still wearing when you were setting up to your commune?
All of it. His AC was
All of
still
it,
the
yeah.
same.
Okay, right. Your
I was the one
helmet
who
was
had no armor on.
your helmet was probably not on though. while you
No,
were in
not during the.
It is the one clean piece of armor he has.
Okay.
He left it at the Ugly Pony for obvious reasons.
Okay, so your helmet, last you saw it, was still in the room, as was Garazin's armor and cloak.
They probably took that.
We kind of odd if they didn't.
And Garazin's musket, now that I think of it. And
Actually,
the
the
guards,
musket and the coat pistol's in the cloak. The musket would be within the confines of my bandolier, which I am wearing because I have to be wearing that. Like I don't take that off to go to sleep, for God's sake.
But you had them disassembled. Did you ever reassemble the musket?
yeah, you had your guns.
If it was
You were working on your
reassembled, then
guns.
was it?
You
does it- does it-
reassembled your blunderbuss so you could use it.
So I disassembled both, started cleaning both, and reassembled. That's terrible. Why would
Because
you do
you're
that?
kind of interrupted.
But no, you'd never disassemble both guns. You'd have one disassembled, cleaning that, then reassemble it, then go to the next one. Like, why would you have both? You always get the part mixed up?
All
Okay,
right.
Garazin would get the parts mixed up, but like it just seems confusing. It's like I'm just
Okay,
gonna
so
disable
your
all my
musket
guns.
is in a haversack or something?
It's a magical bandolier that can kind of like a handy haversack, basically. Just it holds stuff. It's dimensional space.
Okay.
In order for me to have bullets, I have to be wearing that, so I've obviously have it on.
Yes. The guardsmen who are escorting you to the Red Armory have asked to have taken all of your obvious weapons, and they would probably have asked to take your backpack, which, as far as they could, that satchel that is your bandolier.
Asking about my backpack or my bandolier? I have both, but the question stands.
It looks like a tool vest or two, tool vest. So they'd asked to please take that off of you, because while they're not going to completely strip you of everything, they
Yes, you are.
Nobody wants to see
I'm running
Garazin
out of
naked.
things. Do you want my boots next?
You can keep your clothing, Taffy. Just please.
Yes, the shit-covered clothing. Thank you for that one small concession.
Please, sir. Can we have that band?
Can I say no?
It is for our safety and yours.
Yeah. Fine, don't be screwing with it. And I'm serious. You might get your hands blown off, and he gives you. He'll give him the bandolier tentatively. Do they take his fucking handy haversack too?
It looks like a backpack.
It's a handy haversack, yeah. It's a backpack.
Yes, they would.
Gives him that
Like your
too, and
bags.
starts giving the stink eye.
I
Okay.
assume they'd take Fulton's Sandy Haversack then, too.
Please.
They're gonna root through it, and Torsen's gonna be really sour about that.
They just if one of the men is carrying it, but they're not rifling through it right there while they march you through the streets.
They're going when we get to the frickin' armory.
Okay,
Exactly.
Shinalar, you're trying to keep a layer of crowd in between yourself and them, and following, nevertheless unerringly, thanks to the scouting of your Eidolon. There's the word. They're just being led down that main road that goes all the way from the Ugly Pony to the Red Armory. Do you have anything you're particularly looking out for, or any opportunities?
No, she doesn't know why they're taking yet, so doing an assault would be kind of unwise.
Alrighty. You reach the two of you being led reach the Red Armory, and you're escorted inside. You can see that the portcullis is kept open during the day.
Right.
And in the yard, there's a number of people. It looks like just anyone they arrest, they just they chain in a line on one wall in the shade, where they await further questioning.
I swear to God, they put us over there. I'm gonna throw something similar to a hissy fit. Because what the fuck even is this fucking system?
Well, that's just the line of that's just the line of people being questioned. There's a man sitting at a desk at the far end who talks to them and makes notes, and then either sends them on their way or sends them into the jails for further holding. You guys are led to a small assembly on the other side of the courtyard, where there's a handful of guardsmen and a couple tables. And they ask you to please sit here and wait for the captain.
I look at the chair to make sure it's high enough up to where I can actually see over the damn table.
You're not short for a dwarf, so your arms do not rest comfortably down at your sides when your wrists are on the table, but you do have to put your hands at about chin level.
Alright, I'll I mean, I can see over it, and it's uncomfortable, but that's to be expected.
I will sit patiently.
So what, are they chaining our wrists to the fucking table now, too?
No. But there are 6 men who stand by you.
So, who did you lot save to be thrown in jail because you had the gall to dare save someone's life? I mean, how dare us?
They
Clearly, I
remain.
should just let the man drown.
The men just nervously look between each other, but try to stay stone-faced.
They're not dwarves, they fail. We have fucking feet.
Shenalar, could I get a stealth check from your Eidolon, please?
Sure thing.
Okay. Meanwhile, somewhere distant,
That's a lot of sending.
Lindal is preparing spells out of a book and trying to clean out his ears of some green muck.
In 8 hours, I will be able to summon my mansion. Oh, right. I forgot to put one of those on. It's the only spell I actually need for tomorrow, and I completely forgot it.
So, random question: how difficult would it be to remove the armor on the left arm?
You're in full plate, right?
Yes.
It's full plate, so compared to like something like Banded Man, it'd be easier if we're going like prehistorical, just because there's straps and
Yeah.
so on for that kind of crap.
Hull plate needs to be assembled to put it on, even. So yeah, you can remove it without much difficulty.
I mean, you're gonna have to remove like everything on like your right arm or everything on your left arm, wherever the hell it is. Like everything. You can't like keep the gauntlets on, for example. But well, maybe you could keep the gauntlets on, but you get my point.
Yeah, he'll be doing that at the table here.
All right. You unstrap one arm of your armor and
Corzin looks over, going like, "I don't feel lonely. If that's your goal."
So
You
yeah, just
pour
for
your
reference,
arm out.
He has a pretty massive tattoo of a sword covering his entire left arm.
Does that turn into a weapon?
No.
Huh. Be more useful if it did.
I suppose so.
Any reason you wanted to show off your tattoo? I mean, I've seen pretty big ones. That's good.
I can focus the divine energies of my lady through it.
Through your tattoo arm.
Yes.
If that tattoo were somewhere else, you could still do it?
Yes.
Like anywhere?
Anywhere easily accessible, which typically means the arms.
No, I don't judge. Explains the weapon, though. Why not on your forehead or something?
Because I do typically wear a helmet as well.
Mm-hmm. Can't call you out on that one.
A man in a officious-looking uniform comes from one of the doors around the courtyard and starts headed your direction.
Fun.
All right, I am informed that he just stands up on the other side of the table from you and looks over a hastily written report. Okay. You, without looking at you, he just points a finger at Garazin. You were firing a gun within the city?
No, I was shooting fireworks. Yes, I was firing a gun at a mimic to save someone's life. Is that a crime?
Mimic?
A mimic.
The devil's a mimic.
Okay, when your bed gets up and tries to eat you, that's a mimic. It's the type of creature that looks like objects. It's got teeth. Eats things. Mostly people. Do you ever get out of the city? Or go to a certain inn? I don't know why the inn has fucking mimics, but there it is. Saving his life, damn it.
You, sir, pointing at Fulton, you were simply
Attacked
close
by a
to,
mimic.
and you say that you're a traveling companion of this bearded fellow.
I don't think any of us actually said that.
Yeah, we don't ever said that. We had no relation. We were specific about that. The only thing that happened is I saw him get dumped by something, a bed, and I rightfully attacked the bed. That was our entire description.
The dwarf was simply in a neighboring room.
Ah, okay.
And I saw him attacked by a bed, so I leaped to his assistance. I'm sorry, should I let him be eaten by the bed?
Let's see here. Scratch out Travelers, put in Travelers Inn. There we go. Okay. Right. You were both staying at the Travelers Inn, the Ugly Pony. That sorts it out. All right. Right. You say you were chasing some sort of monster.
A mimic in the shape of
Yes.
a bed.
Sounds like some sort of monster to me. Do you know how it entered the city?
No idea. Mimics can take the shape of any object of a certain size, bigger than, say, a chest. So, put simply, it could turn into, say, a bed. Someone, is loading beds for the city. They bring it in. It just acts like a bed, so it's alone with someone. It eats them. There you go.
It looked like a bed until the moment it attacked me.
And then
Same
it grew
bed
teeth.
as it's been since I entered the inn.
That's how mimics work. Get a wizard and he'll explain it to you in detail.
Not entirely helpful, Sir Dwarf.
I'm explaining it in
Leave me out
detail
of
and he doesn't trust
this.
me.
He takes his pencil back out again. No idea how it entered the city. All right. And do you know if you successfully killed the thing?
Pretty damn sure.
We did find pieces of it scattered.
Didn't find the body.
Sewer.
Really?
He tried to flee into the sewer with him. I followed. I shot it a lot.
I'd assumed the thing just knocked you fellas in while you were in pursuit. All right.
No, I tried to explain this several times. It got away with him into the sewer. I followed to save his life. Should I not have?
It was rather unpleasant.
Yes.
I, but do the right thing is what I've been told by me ma, and I did the right thing, and now I'm in jail.
And neither of you has any relation or contract with the city's watch, correct?
Nah.
Not with the city's watch.
Okay. We shall have to ask you to remain here for the rest of the day while we get your story corroborated.
Can I get clean, or do you like the cell?
Yes, we'll send you to get cleansed.
Guard. For the record, this dwarf and I have met before. It's kind of an odd coincidence.
Oh.
Yes, I was investigating a incident at the Yellow Armory, and I ran into this dwarf as a relative to another dwarf I was investigating.
All right. So met before. They one in or two in one. There we go. All right. Okay. I'll have a thaumaturg help you with getting cleaned up there. Just water alone will take weeks to get that out. But otherwise, I must ask you to remain guests of the armory for the remainder of the day.
I figure I kind of had to mention that, because we have been together before.
Yeah, I know, it's fine. I'm not complaining. Can you at least arrest the innkeeper for having a mimic in his damn inn?
He's being questioned.
Oy. As long as I get fed and clean.
We treat guests of the armory very well here.
He lifts his brow.
At some point, I will require to go back down into that sewer.
He kind of lost what was it again?
My sword.
Yeah, that. Apparently it was really expensive.
Well, I'll keep you apprised if my men find anything, but otherwise, what you do once you leave here is your own business.
I see. Thank you.
All right. All right. Calls those men back to attention, and they escort you into the building and down one floor.
All right.
And a second floor.
All right.
And instead of down a third floor, they take a right and lead you into a set of chambers that are. It's pretty much the same design as the prison, but that if the design of these armories is the same, would be one floor further down, but it's a bit better lit, and they put you both in the same cell. Fairly roomy, maybe 300 square feet. There is a tub of water and even a small piece of soap, maybe about size of two fingers held together in one corner.
You just said not enough water in the world is going to get this stuff out.
And after they close and lock the door behind you, you can see that they stack all of your possessions on a bench across the hall.
I keep my eye on it as I wait inevitably for the people who are actually going to clean me, because that is not going to be enough.
Shenalar, is your Eidolon going to try and follow them downstairs? It was not able to loiter in hearing range of that conversation.
Well, since she doesn't know what's going on, then it will have to follow.
Alrighty. Is it going to make its presence... it asks if you wanted to let its presence be known to your two fellows.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, she would.
Alright. While you guys are getting comfy, you hear a little hiss from near the ceiling.
Look up.
Shinalar's Eidolon appears to be hiding itself on a loose stone near the ceiling, where it's not really easily visible from the ground.
Garzan salutes and just says quietly, "Good to know we have backup."
We shouldn't need it.
Shouldn't, but we're gonna, considering how the guard tends to act.
They act according to the law.
Law is fucking stupid.
Laws are what keeps civilization together.
Law is what ruins more cities than any other thing I've ever seen.
That would be corrupt laws.
Is there another kind?
Says the dwarf of all people.
Yeah, he's chaotic. He's different from most dwarves.
Yep.
I have a feeling we're not going to agree on this subject.
No, but can we agree that I saved your life and I'm being punished for it?
I don't think you're being punished for the saving
in a
my
jail.
life part.
They don't have any other excuse to punish me. Notwithstanding the thing you're thinking of, I mean in this single scenario right here. Like, the only reason I'm in this jail right now is because they don't trust anyone's word except their own, and I saved your life and they don't believe me, even though you've told them that. That is not a good law. That is assholery with the excuse of law. And you know that as well as I do. Why the hell is those people supposed to clean me? I'm starting to really smell.
I know that the guards just found a mimic in their city after gunshots rang out in the open public.
And they have two, at least, okay, they trust you. They have one trustworthy source saying, yeah, I was attacked by a mimic. He saved my life. What else do they need? It's a mimic. I can't provide them a body that makes sense. It's like, here's a few planks of wood.
You may just have to live with it.
The point is, I shouldn't have to.
I'm afraid you're not going to get anywhere with that.
I'm really not.
After about, you think it might be about half an hour, someone a middle-aged man in really dusty, dry brown robes comes wandering down the hallway. He's going from making sure all the lamps are still glowing brightly, and as he passes by your pile of stuff, he turns and is facing away from you. He looks like he's doing something with your equipment.
Lad, you're standing next to enough explosive powder to send you through a wall. What are you doing? Says Gorzin to the man.
He carries on, ignoring you.
Alright, whatever, when you explode, ain't my fault. I warned you.
Stops what he's doing, turns around, looks up at you. Stand closer to the bars, please.
Why?
Thorn just does
Because
it.
I will not tolerate this stench.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's my stench offend you. It's the stench of a hero saving someone's life and not getting clean because the guard decided to throw him in jail. So, deal. Because I have to.
Very well, Sir Dwarf. Man faces Fulton, begins making little twitching gestures with his hands, and Fulton, you feel you're being you feel the grime and muck being sloughed off of you, dissolving thinly in the air.
My thanks.
Alright, my turn.
The man turns and walks away.
Well, I know who I'm shooting when I get out of here.
You did insult the man when he was offering to clean you.
No. He never implied he was going to clean me. He just insulted the smell. And I
Typically,
ain't in the
when
mood.
someone says the stench offends them, they're going to remove the stench.
Not where I'm from. Where I'm from, they're just insulting you. Where are you from?
Garazin, that bowl and soap is still back there in one corner.
He ain't gonna bother at this point.
Righto.
He's gonna just wait till he's out and just go to a wizard. Like a wizard who's an asshole. Which is like trying to find, solid gold in a shit mine, but whatever. Yeah, Gorson isn't exactly in a great, happy, I'm gonna get along with everyone mood.
Shinalar.
All right.
Your Eidolon relays the passing events, few as they are. It's beginning to get so bored that it's contemplating whether or not this place has any rats that might be fun to chase.
She'll be chiding it. It needs to stay there in case she needs to swap in.
Fine. Maybe just a little rat.
Be
If one
patient.
happens right through their cell, can I chase it?
Fine. But do not leave their cell. And stay out of sight if anyone comes.
Thank you, mistress. As for yourself, there's only so long you can loiter out on the street, especially so close to the armory. What would you like to do in the meantime?
Well, she needs to stay within a certain range before the idol will get too weak.
You happen to know what that range is?
Let me see. Oh, it's in there somewhere.
If it's anything like a familiar, it's 1 mile.
Of course I can't find it now.
It's not on this. It's not on the Eidolon page itself.
There it is under lifelink. Instead of the Eidolon.
There we go.
100 feet
If
for full
it's-
strength, so it's not going to be that. But 1,000 feet.
10,000 feet, roughly 2 miles. So you
Yeah,
could.
so I have some leeway here. What's my thought?
Oh yeah, you could be literally anywhere on the North Shore. Pretty much in the East Shore, you could get as far as the Yellow Armory without trouble. Have trouble getting as far as the Marble Border, further than the Gray Armory without.
Man, I underestimate how strong this is. Transpose doesn't have a limitation on swapping either. So over that whole distance.
Mm-hmm. So the Ugly Pony's only about 800, 1,000 feet away.
Not sure she actually wants to go back there. Especially not with guards looking around.
Only mentioning it as a reference point.
Then she's gonna wander a little bit. Were there any, like, I don't know, random stores along the way that she could browse and look inconspicuous?
The city planners try to encourage people not to set up shop on the main roads. But if you wandered off on any of the side roads, or at least those that go towards the water from here, it's mostly housing uphill from where you are now. But there is, of course, the North Market, not too far from the Ugly Pony. It's a big thronging marketplace.
That'll do, then.
Alrighty. Just looking for somewhere to pass the time, or?
Yeah, if something catches her eye, she might, grab it, but otherwise she's just trying to ease off boredom herself while she waits.
Let's see here. If I remember right, Lindahl only needs 10 minutes to prepare spells, or am I remembering the wrong feat?
No, he has quick study. He only needs 15 minutes to prepare all of his spells, but that's only after he gets his rest. When I died and came back, I need to rest for 8 hours before I can prepare.
Okay, so you'll be hanging out in your bat cave at least until midnight-ish.
Yeah, when you die, all your prepared spells are wiped, and you have to prepare again.
Yep.
And you have to rest again. So.
Okay. So the time passes from the early afternoon that it was to the late afternoon, the early evening. The sun will be setting in about an hour, Shenilar. Let's see here. Will you have spotted anything interesting while wandering the markets? Should not surprise anyone, really. There are tables for this sort of thing. Assuming the page will load. Yes. Shenilar, although most of the market is exactly what you expect it to be, it's mostly lots of produce and animals moving into the city from the outlying communities. Unlike a lot of more peaceful regions, Harrogate is walled because it has to be against the kinds of creatures that come marauding out of the scarred neck. So most of the region's population does live within the walls. So there is a lot of exchange of various foodstuffs and other what's the word, consumable goods in the city. However, you're wandering through the markets, which is a mixture of small buildings and permanent stalls and open areas where stalls can be rented on a per day basis. When you turn a corner around one building and suddenly find yourself in the doorway of a very small little shop. It's the air is kind of smoky inside, and there's shiny reflective things. It's hidden in the smoke. It's not noxious, but kind of sweet scent.
Huh. Well, definitely bears interest.
You take a few steps inside, and you can see that it's not so much a shop as maybe the kind of stall someone would build in an alley about 4 foot wide. There's a row of little display cases on either side, and it seems to go back into this little narrow gap, maybe about 15 feet. And there's a very old wizened man at the back, smoking a pipe that seems to issue a lot more smoke than it should.
Hmm.
He looks up at you over his glasses, does not speak. It looks like the display cases, each one about a square foot in size, seems to contain just a single small trinket, and most of them appear to be amulets of some sort.
Hmm. Well, if at worst, could find something just at least interesting to look at, let alone maybe something of actual more use.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, she'll do her best to kind of take a look at things. Wondering how rude it would be just to cast detect magic while sitting in the middle of this place.
Let's see. Yep. There's a very small label on paper below each of the cabinets. Let's see here. Let's see here. What are your languages known?
Easier to copy.
Okay. Well, in that case, you can read about. Looking over them, just browsing about. You can read 3 labels without problem.
Hmm.
And they are. There we go. There appears to they appear to be a Swarmbane clasp, a necklace of adaptation, an amulet of spell mastery, and an amulet of muddy fists.
Meaty?
Meaty, mighty, what's the difference?
Well, one of them you can eat, and the other one hurts.
I want an amulet of,
Mighty.
I want an amulet of meaty fists. That sounds great.
Well, you know, in order to
I
realize
guess the term
it's sad,
ham-handed is literal here.
we're probably never going to see Varg's meat-cooking knife again.
Yeah, you will. Just not the way you want to.
Yeah.
There is no sort of price labeled on any of these.
Hmm. Well, the necklace of adaptation could be pretty useful, especially with some of our current problems of, swords in sewers.
You've no sooner thought that than you notice that the man is standing beside you. You found something you want there, sweetie?
He can't see it. She's rolling the eyes at Sweetie. She would point at the necklace of adaptation and go, "Yes, this one interests me."
Ah, very well. Let me just open up the case here. He seems to, his hands shake a lot as he takes out a small key and opens the case, lifts it out, breathes a bit of dust off of it. Ah, very well. I can wrap that up for you unless it's to be taken out directly. I should just like to remind the store's policy. Here at Procter's Gamble, I don't provide any guarantee that the items still work the way they're meant to, but it's why you get the discount. He begins wandering slowly to the back of the store.
Hmm. While suspicious, she's going to take a chance on this one then.
And then she dies.
Yeah, maybe.
That's when the necklace has its opposite effect and removes all air from your lungs.
Well, especially if he wraps it, it gives her time, hopefully, to inspect it before activating it.
He gets behind his counter at the back and the counter and writing a line in a booklet. Very well, dear. Let's see here. That will be three. Carry the two. 3 centum of platinum.
Would she know the conversion on that?
That is 3,000 GB.
Suspicious.
That
Very
is actually quite
suspicious.
the discount.
Yeah.
That's a 6,000 gold discount.
Yeah.
Oh, if it's a curse, you might want to, double check. You get spellcraft.
Yeah, let's
don't
just
touch it with your hands.
Just on your Eidolon first.
At this, rude or not, she's gonna detect magic. This is too. And then try to get some feeling for what's going on with this thing.
You make the necessary gesture and mumble to activate the spell, and the whole shop is covered in all the same thin film of one color. The only thing that doesn't seem to have this single spell, whatever it is, thinly laid over it, is the old man himself. Looks perfectly mundane. He doesn't look like he's wearing anything magical at all.
Hmm. Let's see if she can figure this out.
It all the whole place. It seems to be some kind of instant conjuration effect in play. Let's see if I can 43. Oh, it's actually Knowledge Arcana to identify a spell effect that's already in place.
Then she's not going to be very good at that. Her knowledge is a little bit lacking, unfortunately. Still, she's a little too suspicious of this. She'll take a step back from the counter and simply tell the old man, "I'm sorry, I've changed my mind."
Oh, very well, sweetie, but I'm afraid that you may find it a little difficult to change your mind later.
Well, that's an odd statement.
Teleport quickly.
I'll be right back.
Yep.
Well, I'll take my chances. And at that, she'll just leave, if she can.
Okay. You walk out of the shop. Find yourself back out in the market. You suddenly realize that you were in the shop, you couldn't hear of the of people around you in the marketplace.
If she looks back, is it still there?
It is gone. It's just an empty alley.
That's kind of what I thought. Yeah. Very interesting.
Well, that's what you get when you roll a 98 on the on the shop table. Magic shop. Rope number 437. Okay. Since you're the one who can still move about freely,
All right.
is there anywhere else you would like to go while you wait for your comrades to be released?
Part of the problem is she doesn't know how long they're actually being held. So well, as she hasn't slept in a long time, let's try to find an inn that doesn't have beds that will eat me.
Alrighty. There are plenty along the main road that leads into town from all three of the main gates. There was that inn across the garden from the Ugly Pony. If you want to be able to keep an eye on the Ugly Pony for when your comrades return.
That might be best, yeah.
Okay. You make your way around the Silver Road, past the Ugly Pony, down a side street, into Menanark Alley, and find yourself at the front door of the Savage Sausage.
That name.
I don't think a woman wants to stay at a place called the Savage Sausage.
It depends.
Not willingly.
Lacking much choice, she'll go on in.
You step in through the front door. It's gently behind you can see that this doesn't seem to be a tavern. It's just an inn because there's only a desk here and a door leading inwards and a stairway leading upwards. And at the desk is a man, fairly thickly built man. He definitely works for a living, and you can tell that he is as well muscled and strapping as he is because he is only wearing pants, simply standing behind desk with arms crossed.
Oh, Jesus.
He has
I
a
return.
magnificent mustache.
Glorious!
Is his
Mr.
name
Clean with a
Armstrong?
mustache.
Please be Armstrong!
Evening,
Ask him.
Mrs.
Greetings. Pray tell, how much for a room?
A room? For how long?
I'll need it for at least the night.
Very well. The nightly rate. Try to be quite reasonable and ask 5 silver pieces.
She'll part with that, no problem.
I'm afraid there is no there is no there is no private bath to the one in the main hall. I would recommend against it, madam.
Even though she has no reason to really argue, she'll be curious. As to why would you recommend that?
It may not be your scene, ma'am.
Great. I think she'll let it go with that. Just some things are best not known.
He takes your money, writes out in a ledger. You notice that there aren't names. There's just room numbers, and they're either X'd out or not. And he hands you a slip of paper that has a room number on it. Yours is upstairs.
She'll nod to him and head on up. Curious to see what this is like.
You head up the stairs. At the top of the stairs, there is a door, which just goes straight through. And on the other side of the door, you find yourself on a single catwalk that goes around a large central room. It appears to be there's a lot of steam in the air, and it appears to be, you'd think it was something like a bathhouse. Can't see all the way to the floor through the steam, but you can hear a lot of grunting and the occasional moan.
Fantastic. Okay, no need to go in there. Nope.
The catwalks there are rooms all around the catwalk, and you find yours without difficulty.
Does it lock?
It does.
She will be locking it behind her and trying to whittle away some time, basically. She can't actually go to sleep.
Find yourself in a room at the back, overlooking the garden between the savage sausage and the ugly pony.
Can she see anything strange going on in the courtyard, or guards circling, etc.?
Let's draw walls. holes so that those windows can be open. There we go. Let's see here. No, it appears that there isn't anything going on. There isn't even there isn't even like anyone out on the little what's name? The patio halfway between the first and second floors on the outside. And there's you don't see anyone moving about in the rooms at the back. But although normally this time of evening you should be able to hear the sounds of dinner being served and mild carousing coming from the tavern below the Ugly Pony, it sounds a bit quieter than usual tonight.
Okay. She's gonna have to wait it out here. Because if she falls asleep, the Eidolon goes away.
Alrighty. Your Eidolon announces proudly that while you've been distracted, it managed to catch several moths.
Well, to congratulate it, I suppose, so it doesn't feel hurt. And inquire upon the two party members. How are they faring?
They were just brought dinner. A potato and a link of sausage each.
Well, at least they're being taken care of, to a degree. And at that, she's gonna have to wait, yeah.
Yep. Paulton and Garasan.
Sausage.
It's a bit dry, but it's still it's still decent cured meat. The uncooked potato leaves a bit to be desired, but
Yeah, food is food.
Yeah, I'm on his boat. Food's food. I wash my hands at least.
Good.
Beer probably too, some, but until I get to a wizard, I'm not gonna get proper clean anyway.
The cell that you two are in, there is a pair of cots at the back. No real bed, but at least it's not just hay you're expected to lay on.
I'm gonna check on my gear and reminding myself that we can't sleep. I'm reminding him potentially. Because I'm stuck here all night. If Halton needs help staying up, I'll punch him. And he can punch me.
Looking through the bars, your gear seems to all be here. It's just been stacked on the bench over there, so can't tell too much, but everything seems to be there. Everything that was in your room and all the stuff they took off you in the street.
I would assume the warning about not sleeping was because the beds were mimics.
Light bulb goes off.
I'm pretty sure we can sleep now.
That reminds me, all three of you, I need Constitution saves. Rolls. And Grazin?
Oh yeah, con check. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out how to get to it.
Yep.
Put an inventory. All right.
Yep.
$21 on my end.
Okay, Grazin, you are still merely fatigued, but Fulton and Shinalar, you are now exhausted.
Dwarf.
I think I
Yay.
will be going to bed.
Alright, well, when you get eaten by the nightmare demons, don't complain to me. I saved your life once, I'm
sure
not
that
gonna do it
I
again.
won't.
Clearly, I get thrown in jail when I save lives, so I'm just, not gonna bother. He grumbles sourly because he's not clean yet. His gun has been taken away from him, and he's just kind of bothered by that. He'll keep a watch on the stuff then for the night.
Alrighty.
Gonna check something really quick here.
How dare these guards actually take my equipment? Have they never played a video game?
Yeah.
Why haven't I yet found the secret wall in my cell that goes to a phase spider statue?
Why has the king walked in and inexplicably freed me because I happen to have the only secret passage leading out of the castle?
How come I couldn't just rattle on the bars till the guard walks up, then smack him in the back of the head, and then run out of the whole place?
Well, Grazin hasn't tried that.
Why can't I just pick the lock with a nearby sharpened bone?
You're gonna have to provide your own sharpened bone for that.
I suppose
I
I
don't know, there's
could
one
if
other
they
person.
wanted to.
That sounds dirty.
Yes, it does now that I think about it.
Right. Before anything, Fulton's going to cast Detect Magic and look around this thing.
This thing?
The cell.
Let's see here.
Thank God. I thought you meant sharpened bone.
Right. Now I've got this horrible mental image of the only thief in the land who can pick his way out of a cell even after he's been stripped naked.
That's awful.
No want.
Yep, that's what I said. Horrible image. So, Fulton, the cell seems to have nothing magical in or about it that you guys aren't still wearing. That was not obvious armor or weapons on you, or that hasn't been stacked on the bench across from you.
Okay, so they did tell him to take off his armor.
No, you've been left with your armor, but not your weapons or not your weapons. And Garazin is only without his armor and cloak because he wasn't wearing it at the time he was taken.
So he still has a shield.
Buckler? I presume we would have to take that off to do what I'm doing. I mean, I don't actually have to take it off, but I'm going to just guess.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I forgot you guys carry shields. Yes, those would have been taken with and put on that bench.
Yeah, range actors tend to have bucklers because, well, why not?
But they were not going to strip you, whether of clothing or of armor.
They stripped me.
They took your
my belt, my bandolier, my backpack, my fucking gun. Like, they didn't take my
because
boots,
they don't
that's
know what
about
you
it.
have in them. They didn't take your boots
I'll
because they were
explain.
squeaking.
Okay, Fulton's going to take off the rest of his armor and go to bed.
Alright,
Alrighty.
I'll watch the stuff. I want my pipe, but they took that too.
This is probably like the first time in a while Fulton was praying in the morning for his spells. He's just a bit too tired for this shit.
Like I said, eaten by nightmare demons, not my fault.
But nightmare demons
Fulton.
are delicious.
It's down to now.
I think I missed all of it. Mumble decided to just
Oh.
stop.
Get myself semi-clean using the bathwater and soap, like during the night as
Alrighty.
well. Just to make it less worse than it is.
Mm-hmm.
That's not bathwater, that's the chamber pot.
You're not
It's
using a clean chamber
bathwater.
pot, sir. It's also really big. Do you have a water elemental use it?
No, this is the cell where we keep the ogres.
Unusually clean pot, then.
Anyways, the night passes.
I watch
You
the
hear-
stuff and
You
clean.
hear your mother's chiding voice reminding you to clean behind the ears.
Half-orc
Yes,
snoring.
Ma. I know my mom's been haunting me since I accidentally blew up the home. I know.
Let's see here. Does Fulton snore? Well, I'm just going to assume it has the same incidence rate among half-orcs as among humans.
It's probably just a little louder.
Well, that's good enough that you only snore if you choose, if you, as a character-building decision, choose to.
He's tired enough, I think, would happen. Like, he just passed out.
Razin can be briefly fascinated by how your tusks seem to amplify the effect.
It's like sawing logs.
What you presume the night passes terribly slowly. Do you do anything to keep yourself entertained?
Most of my entertainment paraphernalia is currently in my backpack across the way. I'm a dwarf, and we're used to both patience and taking up games. I'm going to explore the room, check for weaknesses in the stone, see what the cage door is like, the hinges and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking for potential weaknesses so I could rush out if need be.
Well, the cell's fairly well constructed, but fairly well constructed on a budget. You could definitely break out of here if you had tools. Barehanded, even a dwarf would have a lot of trouble with that.
Thing is, I have tools called armor on that sucker over there. I could theoretically get out. And my knife. Oh, wait, no, he gave them the knife. Never mind. I was going to say my boot knife, but no, he took that.
Yeah, if you
The
had your
hammer up and beat the bards with them.
If you had your hammer, it would only take one or two good blows to crack the hinges of this door. Doing the same with your own fists is not something you want to try anytime soon.
Now, I've got the gauntlets of Fulton, so if that comes to that, we have that.
Mm-hmm.
I just like to know these things. Other than that,
you
would play a game, I guess, of, like, mental cards. Solitaire.
You do also find a few holes in the wall right at the floor that are, well, you imagine they were probably put there just to facilitate draining if any water gets in down here. But they also make great hidey holes for the rats, which are not plentiful, but you do definitely hear them every once in a while.
Mm. Well, I'm awake, so they're not going to bug us for a bit, so... Yeah.
There's clearly not so much that there's a rat problem, but they're nevertheless present.
It's medieval, even with magic, medieval land has rats.
Where there are people.
There are rats. That's fine. I mean, live and let live. I'm just going to stay up all night, watch the gear, maybe clean some more, play a dwarf game of Toss the Rock.
You
gave me the rock.
You fail to find any loose debris about the room. The only things you have that you could toss around are boots, Alton's boots, or the Eidolon, who is also quite bored.
Yeah, I'll play with the Eidolon, fuck it.
Juggle your boots in the Eidolon.
No, that's asking for the Eidolon to bite me. No, thank you. I'll make a friend. I'm going to play with the Eidolon.
It also has a very tiny longbow it could shoot you with.
Okay. I don't know that, but I do know that it's someone to play with, so I'll make friends.
At its size, that longbow does 1 non-lethal damage.
Yeah.
What if you shoot someone in the eye with it?
1 non-lethal damage. To your eye.
Let's see here. I'm pretty sure there is actually a ruling of what happens if you try to do a cold shot with a non-lethal weapon.
Oh, it's not a non-lethal weapon. Its damage is just reduced to so little that it becomes
Yeah.
non-lethal.
I think
So
it might
it would
even
probably become 1 lethal damage.
Yeah. Okay. Eidolon finds you a bit of rock debris from one of the hidey holes further out in the wall, and is happy enough to try to catch it each time you toss it upwards. And you do not wake Fulton up with the occasional dropped dirt. I do need you to make a con check, though, as the night wears on.
Alright, con check. Damn it, wrong one. Nine.
You are now exhausted.
I hate everyone and everywhere, everything, all the time, always.
Even yourself?
Possibly. I hate myself for not having the intelligence to realize I could have just blown this entire place off the map and settled it that way. Just pack gunpowder beneath until boom. Guarantee he's dead. There's a crater there.
Well,
I
we
can
went
guarantee
looking for
it.
that cult. We're looking for that cultist you were asking us to look into, and decided to just fuck it all. Stuffed the whole city with gunpowder and sent it up as a torch a mile wide. So I
We're
think I'd like to
99%
claim
sure
you
he's
caught
dead.
him dead, prize.
I'm like 99% sure he's dead. Unless he's like completely immune to explosions, he's dead.
Of course, if he wasn't in the city, then he knows everyone's looking for him.
No, he just has a city blue buff. Like shit.
Possibly
That's like-
the dragon is looking for him.
Possibly.
Shinalar, you've
Yes.
occasionally received reports from your Eidolon of just checking in, making sure that you're still as okay as it is.
The answer will be groggy and kind of grumpy.
Mm-hmm. I need you to make a con check as the night wears on. You manage to stay awake. Okay.
I already made one.
Pardon?
I thought you were asking me to make another one. Sorry.
No, I was asking Shinalar, who's awake at the other end of the Eidolon relay.
And trying not to listen in on everything going on around her in that place.
Garazin, could I get a perception, please?
Sure.
And also from the Eidolon.
41 on my end of things.
Ooh, that's a 1.
Yep.
Ones aren't auto-fail for skills, it just means you derped.
Yeah.
Besides, of
You
course, I know
managed
this
to blink at the same time you're trying to look.
derp.
Alrighty. Garazin, as everything becomes terribly silent as night settles in the city above, little things like you become aware that you could still actually vaguely hear the very faint rumble of carts passing by on the road, but that has come to a halt. And you become aware that there's a few other sources of snoring elsewhere on your prison level. Sounds like 2 others. And someone who sounds like they're still pacing their cell.
I have the idol on go back to hiding for now. I say, alright, time to hide, and sort of gesture. I'm assuming you can understand me. I don't know.
After tarrying a little bit, goes back up to the little ledge of stone near the loose brick at the ceiling where it can settle down.
Mumble something about promising it, like a tidbit of chocolate or something.
Okay. And those two of you still awake as morning begins to happen somewhere up above.
Okay, so Fulton would have slept longer than usual because they exhausted and because he can now.
Yep.
But he does still have a ring of sustenance.
Okay.
Unless they took that, I suppose, but...
I don't know if they
did
stripped
not.
our rings.
Let's see here. Double checking something. Yeah, so the ring of sustenance means you normally have to sleep only 2 hours to get complete rest. I believe is
He would have
okay.
chosen to sleep longer because tired.
Yep. You will, in your condition, you will have to sleep for at least 5 hours to be fully rested.
Okay.
But let's see here. Fulton, you stir from rest. Rosen is dragging his feet as he walks back and forth to try and stay awake.
It certainly doesn't feel like my mind has been eaten by nightmares.
Oh, awesome. That means I can go to sleep soon. Yay. I'm gonna do it once I get clean, though. Proper clean.
You realize you have no idea how long that may be.
It's called walk to the nearest district that sells things, find the wizard, and say, hey, cast this, followed by this. And then I pay him, and I walk to our room, make sure nothing is a mimic, and go to sleep.
You could go sleep now.
Why would I do that? We're about to get let out. Fuck that noise.
First of all,
You have no
we have no
idea what
information
time
of
it is.
that. Second of all, you look completely exhausted.
I'll be fine. I'm a dwarf.
And he smells like the sewer he came out of.
Dwarf.
Yeah, well, it's his own fault at this point.
Back in just a second.
It's your fault.
A wizard came by specifically to make you smell good.
And insulted me. I'm not in the mood for a wizard snark.
Well, you're not going to get very many wizards.
No, I'm not.
Okay, let's see. New day.
Why don't you clean me, Mr. Magic?
No prestidigitation.
Find some other manner that isn't involving dumping water on my head.
That's basically it.
Summon cats.
I suppose I could technically do that same thing.
Technically.
Technically.
If you want. It worked last time.
Okay, preparing spells. So now Fulton will be praying for a while.
Yep. Shenalar, or actually no, Grozen. I need the both of you to make con checks.
Con?
Yep.
Damn it, wrong button. There you go. That's a 6 cent.
You fall asleep while Fulton is praying for his spells.
I suppose that solves that problem.
And Shalar. 7. Oh, with how many in a row? Shinalar, you have fallen asleep sometime while you've been trying to stay awake and stand watch.
Fantastic.
And Fulton doesn't find awake, that asshole.
You kind of need the sleep.
Yeah, but demons. Mind demons.
Rosin mutters and mumbles through his beard in his sleep. Like to imagine that Garazin sleeps face down to protect his beard.
Yeah. Would. He would. Well, unless someone wakes him up.
Yep. Fulton,
You get to sleep for a bit.
you have your spells.
He's gonna be mad at you when he wakes up,
Yeah, I'll be handling it while we're going on here, but we can continue while I'm just getting them done.
Okay. When you get up, you notice that the Eidolon is no longer nestled up on its stone.
Huh. Not entirely sure what that could mean.
Either it's flown off while you've slept, or it's been unsummoned.
One of the two, I'm sure. I'll just get it. How wide are the bars in this?
Let's see here. The bars themselves are maybe 3/4 an inch in diameter, and they're about a little wider than the palm of your hand, in between the bars.
A little too big for him to poke his head out, then.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's got to try and look to each side either way.
Scuttle all the way to the right end of the prison and look down the left. Feet on the other side.
Pretty much, yeah.
Looks like you guys are somewhere near the middle of the line of cells. Other than a few other benches you can see down the ways that, one of them has a small has a bedroll laying on it, a very tattered one, but otherwise it doesn't look like there's whoever else is down here. It doesn't seem to have any notable possessions with them. And you notice that it occurs to you that you haven't seen any guards roaming about or even sitting near the entrance on this level of the cell block.
Well, they might just be busy. I mean, as it is, you would just be waiting. At least for now. If it goes too long, he will eventually get fed up. But much slower than Garazin.
Righto.
What is his opinion?
After a couple hours, you hear footsteps coming slowly down the hall, occasionally stopping, and you see the middle-aged man in the brown robes again. He's filling some of the oil lamps and checking the others, walking down the line of cells. comes in front of yours. Good morning.
Morning to you.
I see he's comfortable.
Yes, he was
Or
attempting
limestone.
to stay awake for some reason. He failed not long after I woke up.
Very well. Here, reaches into a pocket, pulls out a looks like a walnut, holds it out to you.
Fulton takes it in some small amount of confusion.
Have
Thank
him
you.
eat that whole, not cracked, when he wakes up.
Very well. What is it?
Well, I do not think that he would stay in such a pleasant sleeping mood if you dragged his cot closer to the bars, so that should take care of the matter.
I see.
What brings a man of the church into our humble jail, anyways?
Well, I come to the city searching out what men of the church always search out: injustices to be righted, evil to be purged. Jail is simply an unfortunate circumstance. Well, I'm sure we'll be righted soon enough.
Good, good. Good men get caught in the middle everywhere that injustice follows.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Then he who shovels out the muck gets some on himself.
Aye.
Well, the dawn should break in less than an hour. The guards should be down to see you by then.
That would be nice. Thank you for the information.
He continues his patrol down the line, checking the land.
Detect magic, then. What is this walnut? Detecting magic on the walnut.
Yep. There seems to be a small transmutation effect on it.
Huh. And he said when he wakes up, right?
Yep. No, force it down his throat while he sleeps.
Choke in your sleep. Choke in your sleep.
What are you assholes doing to poor Dorison?
Everything and nothing.
You have to roll him over if you want to give him the walnut, and I don't suggest that.
There we go.
Greater angelic aspect of sense of vision.
I'm waiting for the opportunity to use that.
Mm-hmm.
Smite the shit out of people with it.
Precisely.
I've still been trying to figure out if it can be used with another thing. Where is it? Yeah, bestow grace of the champion.
Let's see here.
Target gains paladin abilities for a round per level. Transmutation. Not really relevant right now. I've just been trying to check.
There we go. Angelic aspect.
They're both transmutation is the thing. I forget how those stack.
You're thinking polymorph effects, which do not. See here. And lesser, but you gain low light, dark vision 60, DR10, immunity, pet, or resistance, or protective aura, and true speech as supernaturals. The wings you get give you fly speed 60. Yeah, that it gives you all of those things. Just yeah, the bonuses stack as they normally would, with bonuses of different types, but otherwise, yeah, that's just augments you wherever you are.
Cool. So at some point, he can become a super paladin. And cleric.
And
Leave into here.
so, no words.
Sorry, I keep getting distracted by stuff because Gorzan's asleep and I got nothing to freaking say. So
Yes, I mean Cusimandro.
I missed part of that then, because Mumble was being Mumble.
All I heard was just the last thing you said was just a series of pops. I didn't hear any words. I was asking if Bestow Grace of the Champion is the other one you mentioned.
Yes.
Paladin
for everyone.
Yep.
As long as you're lawful good, but there's only one person who is here.
Yep, that just gives you those abilities for the duration.
Fun.
Yeah, it's polymorph effects that you can only have one applied to you at a time. Any new one replaces the previous. Unless it is a permanent effect, in which case it happens once and then you stay that way.
Forever.
Well, until something new comes along.
Alright, well, Fulton will be waiting for daybreak, because hopefully the guards will be coming at that point.
Yep. You hear a door open and slam down the ways, and a pair of footsteps start coming your way. Two guards walk up to your cell, walk past it, open the next cell over, drag some man at. All right, back onto the streets with you. Looks to be an old drunkard who gathers up his tattered bedroll and is escorted back to the surface.
Fulton shrugs.
And after only a few more minutes, a couple guards come down. All right, let's see here. Yeah, that's a half orc, all right. And is that a
That is a snoring dwarf.
Well, these papers say the dwarf, but I guess the snoring one will have to do. All right. See if you can wake him up.
Fulton will start nudging him.
he gets up, rubs his head, looks around. Swallows the many words he wants to say to Fulton, and just quietly punches him in the chin area as he gets up. Come up. What's up?
Garazin, you are still fatigued, but you're no longer exhausted.
That's fine. Thanks for making me sure I'm aware.
Fulton will hand him the walnut.
Thank you for the nut.
One of the guards said you should eat that whole.
Whole?
Apparently so.
And it's not just gonna choke me to death. Whatever. He tries to eat it whole.
It goes down much easier than you'd expect for something its size, and as it settles in your belly, you feel your skin growing very warm.
Odd.
And after a few moments of steaming, it seems that all of the filth has boiled off of you, and now rests on the floor as a thin slime on the ground.
Effective.
Away
Mildly
from the
disgusting.
slime. Step away from the slime and grunt in surprise. Thank you, Fulton.
I can't say I expected it to do that.
Fair enough. Right, so why am I up?
But it was supposed to melt the whole dwarf. What the hell? Anyways.
Fulton motions the guards.
All right, this way. Captain must wants a brief word with you, and then you'll be free to go.
Lovely. Alright. Gore's in a slightly better mood than he's clean.
You're
Being clean and having sleep will do that.
you're led upstairs into the courtyard. The guard captain is shouting at a group of assembled guards. Seems to be just giving them their patrol routes for the day. And gestures that you guys to wait. Sends the group of men on their way, and then comes over. Looks at each of you, right? Looks at you in the eyes. Brief. I'm sorry, I just like to play those little jokes.
Ha! You're fine.
Anyway. Yep, it seems your stories check out. Took us better part of the night to verify it, and I've got a couple men who are, it's their job to go down into those sewers, but nevertheless, they'll be scarred for life.
Aye.
Anyway, we found fragments of that bed, and sure enough, when we brought them up to the surface, the wood was still bleeding. Guess that's good enough for us. Had the Thomas check it over. Seems to be legit. So, you two are free to be on your way. You two, go back down there and get their stuff, will you?
All of it.
Soon as those men come back with your stuff, you're free to go.
Did
Thank
any
you
of the men
kindly.
find my weapon in the sewers?
He lost a blade. It'd be pretty obvious. It's quite a fine make.
Oh, that's a good question. I'll go double check. Normally that stuff just gets dropped off at Lost and Found.
It would be appreciated. Thank you.
This pig sticker of yours, he shouts from a doorway down at the armory end. This pig sticker of yours, silverish color, right?
I mean, I
Aye.
suppose it would be, but I never really thought of it.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it
It's
takes-
got the son of Iomade on the pommel, right?
That'll be the one.
Aye.
There you be. Comes over with a. It looks like someone has poured water over it to get it clean, but hasn't actually gotten into all of the nooks and crannies around it. Yep, found it not too far from that bed.
Thank you very much. This would have been a hassle to find on my own.
Well, if you're, the guard's always a little on the underfunded side. If you ever want to leave charitable donations, there's a desk at the front. One of the guys, they'll know what to do with it. It's always appreciated for service well rendered. And he pointedly looks down at Garazin. Anyways, just be sure not to, go firing off any guns without, getting the proper authorities first.
So
Tend to
you're
look
saying
poorly
if
on-
I see a dragon attack the town, I should hold off before I talk to the guard?
No, Master Dwarf, I'm saying that if you see a dragon attacking the town, just be a good citizen and run away. But if you do see another of those damn monsters trying to apprehend people, just get some of the guard to come with you, because city guard is always loyal and helpful. And you need them to help you if you don't want to be held around and interrogated at length and held in a jail cell all night where you stink the place up, if you're getting my drift.
Snorts. Alright.
That's
Fair
it.
enough.
That's it. Here's your stuff.
Garzin takes the long process of getting his armor on, his buckler on, making damn sure every single bullet is in place, along with the powder, and just sort of does that for a bit.
Fault must put his armor back on. So,
We're both
they
wearing
s-
full plates, and we have to help each other.
They did seem to have brought everything from your room at the Ugly Pony.
So nothing's missing.
Yes.
So
my
I get my
handy
incense
haversack,
back?
my stuff, all my bullets, rope, everything.
Everything that was in your room
Hooray!
that
And
Shinalar was
presumably
not
in-
wearing.
And presumably in my backpack and or bandolier, yes.
Yes.
Okay, they haven't like rid it through it. Money purse, all right.
That's a good question.
I have not much money written down right here.
Well, I know you have written down how much money you had when you last looked in your purse. Are you going to take the time to count it right there where you stand?
Yes,
That might be a little rude.
I'm not gonna wait till I'm far enough away the thief to run off with it. So, yeah.
All right. You spill out your coin purse into one hand, and fortunately, you've only got some 12 platinum pieces and some change in gold and silver to your name. It all appears to be there.
Alrighty. Tuck it back away. Take my knife back from Fulton's pile. Put it in my boot. And get my cloak on. And bow to the city watch captain. Thank him for his patience with the matter, because, well, we wear a lot of armor because it's a rough world out there. And I make to go and find a wizard.
They have not yet opened the portcullis for the day, but the passage around it is still open.
I leave.
Fulton puts his helmet back on, nods to the guard captain, and again, thank you for your assistance in finding my weapon.
I make sure my guns are all away. Colt pistol in the cloak, the blunderbuss
Yep.
across the back, and let's get inside the extra-dimensional space.
I should mention, Fulton, anything you and Lindahl left in that room you rented at the Ugly Pony, that's not here. Only the stuff from Shinalar and Gorazin's room.
Kind
And
of
I don't think you left anything there.
I don't think
You
either
were-
of us actually used that room at all, so...
Yeah,
I think you
rented
rented it just to have an excuse to go up and meet Gorazin and Shinalar.
pretty much.
much.
Then they walked in once, just looked like they'd been there, and that's like it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's head to the Ugly Pony first. Make sure we still have a room. Maybe get a new one somewhere else, and then I'm gonna swing by the North Market to talk to a wizard.
Oh,
Well, you are clean.
I'm talking to a wizard to get. Well, number one, I'm not going to be clean, as that's very clear now to me. So I'm going to find a way to get myself clean using magic, using my gun or something. Two, I need to find a wizard to help me get unfatigued without having to go to sleep every damn time.
mm-hmm.
Sure,
You
a wizard
could
came
just
up
go
with
to
a.
sleep for a bit.
Yeah, that's going to happen. I already got sleep
Meanwhile-
once. By the way, kick you in the shins. The hell did you get me asleep for? I could have been eaten by nightmare demons. I mean, you weren't, but you're a holy man. I'm not.
If you had started to be eaten by nightmare demons,
How would
I
you
do
tell? I could have shaped my mind. I never would have known.
No, I wouldn't have.
I could be a nightmare demon right now. But you don't know because you let me go to sleep yet.
Might be an improvement in personality.
Meanwhile,
Smart arse.
in some dank and forgotten basement, deep under the nation of Alastria, Lindahl wakes up from a troubled sleep.
Okay, so just to set the scene, I set this place up years ago, and it has light and air supplied through magic and is deep underground and only accessible through greater teleport.
Had it been there for decades yesterday? Carry on.
So yeah, the whole place just has my cloning vat, air.
I presume you
light,
put a new one in.
a cot and a door that doesn't actually go anywhere, where I summon my magnificent mansion to. So so I wake up. I actually went through and put everything to most of my stuff to unused because I'm actually just going to prepare things as I need them, since most of the stuff I'm going to be casting is has long casting times anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And if I decide to leave the room today, I can spend 15 minutes and prepare at that point.
Righto.
Well, I guess the first thing I need to do is, oh yeah, and just a flavor thing to explain stuff earlier. The way I figured my clothes work is it's like a mood ring, but it's only affected by prestidigitation effects. I'm spending $300 for my clothing. Figure that's fair. That's why I can change the symbols and what metal things look like made out of and whatnot.
Yep, makes sense.
So yeah, I wake up. First thing I am going to do is take a dagger, cut a 1-inch chunk out of my arm, throw it in the cloning vat, and spend 30 minutes casting clone.
While
More
you do
clones!
Well, he's a wizard, and he's a smart wizard. You carry clones on hand. Or in vats, I suppose. Or off arm. I don't know how to explain it. I'm not a wizard.
In 2d4 months, I'll have a new clone body.
So just don't die before then.
Well, if I do, I just wake up in the clone body when it matures. So.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to have to wait 4 months to go find the wizard.
Okay.
4 months later, we're all level 21. Wizard wonders what happened.
And did you account for this new clone in the material components?
Yeah, I spent that was in my buying link.
Okay.
1,000 gold for 2 new casts of clone.
Righto. Yep, and the equipment's reusable because it's a focus. Carry on.
Yeah, and I plan on keeping one ahead. So next would be spend a minute preparing and casting Summon Monster 9 to summon a Trumpet Archon to cast Heal on me.
Of course.
He refuses to come. Fuck you.
Let's see here.
That just cures the damage I did by cutting out an inch of my arm.
That reminds me, I need to go
I have 2
heal.
negative levels. I don't have anything that can cast Restoration to restore them, because monsters can't cast that if you summon them.
I did sleep for some time, so I would heal a little.
Yeah. The couple points, yes.
I'm going to need to get the cleric to cast either Restoration or Greater Restoration on me later.
I can do that.
It's an expensive cast, though, so sort of a pain in the ass, sorry.
Eh.
I have 2 negative levels, so... Okay, so...
Probably have to go get the actual material. Yeah.
So I've summoned... Okay, so I've done my clone, summoned my next thing, put on my new set of clothes. Next I would summon my mansion and get something to eat, because this body hasn't eaten before.
Mm-hmm.
Food.
We should probably eat too.
You managed to force down some pudding.
I've got a ring of sustenance.
Doesn't mean you don't like eating.
I know, but it's not required. He'll eat if he has time.
Fucking magic people. Clones and not eating and shit. I just shoot things. The hell.
You can just have an ion stone like she has.
You're all weird. I'm gonna go in and enchant my shirt to clean me now.
Okay, next I spend 3 minutes preparing 3 sendings, and we get into the meat of what my day is planned to be.
Mm-hmm.
Hi guys, I'm alive.
No, first sending goes to the guy who sent us on this mission in the first place.
Fuck you, you owe me money.
So go ahead and compose those, since that'll take you at least about half an hour.
Well, first one goes to him, because he sent us to find out where this guy is, and I found out. Mission accomplished.
Alrighty.
Yeah, technically.
He I totally have him right where I want him.
Unless that's not correct, in which case. Me, I'm after the bonus. I want to drag him back in chains. Speaking of back in chains, I'm assuming we do actually still have all our shackles and stuff. It's part of my gear.
There
So.
has to be a reason I prepared all these constricting coils and hold monster and...
To grab him while we put the shackles on him, I would presume. I mean, once we find this Harrow guy, the idea is we jump him and take him back alive. A corpse isn't very talkative,
Preferably,
as
yeah.
Fulton has proved. Corpses aren't always talkative.
Hmm.
Then I doubt you're okay with raising the dead in that sense.
Nope.
I mean, I guess you'd be okay resurrecting him, but that's
Yeah,
kind of
resurrecting
us.
is different.
Then he can always refuse, though, is the problem. Like, alright, now fuck him.
Yeah, point is, don't kill him.
Haha, lol.
Next one goes out to Shelinar.
Who is asleep?
What happens?
Still
We'll
got
receive
those-
it.
When she awakes.
Yeah,
Okay.
take a decision. I mean, it'll be delayed, obviously, so...
I suppose he is doing science. Cloning.
Magic science.
Magitech.
That one goes to Fulton.
Hello.
So we pause mid-walk as you let go. Huh? What does it matter?
Ding!
What does it matter, lad?
That would be
Fulton picks
legal.
up while walking to the ugly pony.
Then I ask, what's the matter?
That is a message from Lindall.
You got a message from Lindahl?
That
So
is
he is
what I
alive.
just said.
So he's alive and not like, help me, my organs are everywhere. Or, oh god, the blood.
He does require some healing magic.
Mm.
Okie dokie. I think I can add one more thing for that. Counting words. How many words is it for sending? 25?
Yeah.
25.
Alright, I'm fine then. Funny thing is, like, as long as you're not rude about it, barking orders is probably the best attitude to take with Fulton.
Get me a pizza.
Now, see, that's being rude.
But
I need to
pizza.
save the world.
Okay, I'm just going to spend the rest. I'm going to prepare the rest of my spells for the day. Actually, filling all my spell slots because I'm going to be leaving my book here.
Mhm.
and then I'll head out. Actually, first I will take my ring of undetectable alignment, put it on, cast undetectable alignment on myself, take it off, and put it back on the bench where it's sitting.
Good idea. Saves all of those inconvenient questions later.
So,
You two arrive at the Ugly Pony.
I march in like a dwarf with a mission.
You!
I am interrupted in my mission by the same man that I was going to scream you at, so this works out.
What
I
the
scream
hell went
you
on?
back at him.
You start... gunfire starts firing from your room, and the city guard descends upon this place.
You put a
Evicted half of
mimic
my
in
men.
our room, you crazy son of a gun.
I didn't put it there.
It was in there. So let's see, I rent you a room, I pay you up front, and there's a mimic in my room?
I didn't put it there.
I
Why would
don't
put
know if you did
monsters
or
in my
not. How am I supposed to
rooms?
prove that? It was a mimic.
It's not like I could even have known it was in there. You told me not to send the cleaning staff in.
I'm sure you would have found out when the cleaning staff didn't return and he found some bones on the floor and a missing bed.
And then I could send for the guard and hire a new maid. And
Why didn't you catch this before I was even here?
Fulton's going to sigh, shake his head, and go upstairs.
I
Don't you
rented that room
clean
out.
that room when I'm not there? Do you just
I
clean it for
rented that
special
room out not
occasions?
2 weeks ago. There were 2 beds in it, and they were both perfectly normal. If
When
you
went
brought
up to
a mimic with you, why didn't you tell me?
I don't bring mimics with me. I rent a room from you thinking this is a safe part of town, and I get a mimic?
Well, fine.
You should be happy the worst I did was shoot it.
Well, you should know that the Ugly Pony is a charitable and fair establishment. Here's your 2 gold remaining for the nights you have not yet slept in it. Please find yourself somewhere safer to sleep. Safer for me.
Fair enough, but my companion would need to be informed of this matter.
I'll tell her if she shows up.
Very well. Good day, sir. And I go upstairs to go get my stings. I don't know if I got everything, I'm just making sure. And then I storm back downstairs after telling Fulton of the situation, more or less quietly as I rummage through the room, and then I leave. I'm probably going to head to the north. I inform Fulton I'm probably going to head to the North Market, because I need to pick up some things anyway. And from there, we can find a different inn.
Hold on, if Fulton's going to the North Market...
Well, I'm going for North Market. You don't have to come with me if you want to.
No, but,
But you still have a room. I technically don't here, so, you know.
The thing is, I need 5,000 gold pieces worth of diamond dust.
Ah, well, I guess you have a reason to come with me then.
Just 2,000.
So you
You
have
can
2
cast-
negative levels?
You can cast Restoration twice. If you cast normal
Is
Restoration twice,
it
that'll
a
cure both
permanent
of them.
negative level you have?
Yeah, greater
You can't
lesser
spell more than 1 in a 1 week period.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, has to be greater restoration.
Okay
Yeah.
then.
Alright, so we have an excuse to go to the Great Market together. Yay. Should probably try and find She once we've done that, but I think she's been keeping track of us this whole time, so... eh.
Well, from what he told Lindahl, it's kind of going there, getting diamond dust, and then heading back to the Ugly Pony.
Yeah, and I'll grab what I need while we're doing that. I guess I'll just hang outside the Ugly Pony and wait for She, I suppose.
So, to the North Market.
To the North Market!
Is less than 200 feet away down the road. A great thronging mass of market that is filled with permanent and temporary structures and heavily ramped down dirt paths and stone flag sections on which temporary stalls are bought and rented on a daily basis. It's a veritable maze if you're looking for anything specific.
Which, unfortunately, he is.
And I am too. Though slightly less specific than you. Let's just ask a guard. Hey, do you happen to know where like a wizard is? Because if there's a wizard, they'll probably have what you're thinking of. Wizards tend to stock that kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's that or we have to go to the Street of Thousand Gods, which will guarantee have it, but probably be more expensive. Probably. Yeah, we'll just talk to a guard. One that looks dutiful, I suppose is the word.
You find one without too much scanning about.
Aye, lad, you have a moment.
Mm.
Good God. We be looking for certain things, and being travelers, we don't know the place as well as we ought. Do you happen to know where you might find like a shopkeep of a wizardly nature, enchantments, materials, that kind of thing? My companion here is looking for something specific.
I'm afraid if you're looking for contract wizarding, you won't find anyone in the North Market. It's mostly just craftsmen and artificers and produce.
Where would I be finding a wizard to hire out then just to do an enchantment for us?
Let's see here. Well, if you're looking for cut-rate goods of all kinds, there's plenty of people that keep their shops in the noticeably low rent of Dead Men's Bend.
Yeah, I'm looking more for a specific job and specific enchantment. Nothing complicated, mind you, just, it's a specific enchantment on a specific thing.
Ah, all right. Well, if you need what you need is some particular magicking. Let's see here. It's down that way. Turn left. There's a place just south of the Marble District, the Marble Quarter, that where a lot of the more occult likes to gather. I'm sure that you'd find the supplies you're looking for there.
That sounds ideal.
That'll do. Thank you kindly. Where would that be again? You said the Marble Quarter?
Just south of it. The street's called Tottenham Curve.
Alright. Sounds... Thank you kindly for your time, sir. We'll be heading there, then. Come on, you big lug. At least I'm not calling you a greenskin.
That's not much sentiment.
Yeah.
Oof, Christ, going by road, that's all half-mile.
We have to walk, they won't let us ride, so... Unless there's like a carriage system they'll let us use, we have to walk.
I'm sure they wouldn't object to wind walk.
I think they would, considering how this place tends to act. If you want to try it, but they're probably going to start kicking up a fuss. We go to Tottenham's Curve and find us some magic.
So Tottenham's Curve and Dead Man's Bend are the same place?
No. Dead Man's Bend is right up against the east edge of the wall. Where occasionally anything that comes out of the scarred neck sometimes spills over the wall.
Huh. But it's saying Dead Man's Bend if I click on it.
I think just because
that's just because that's happened to be the token I copied and pasted. Should be corrected now.
Well, now I just can't even click on it, so I guess it doesn't matter.
There you go.
Hey!
All right, let's see here. I need to...
I still have the lead to follow up on. That reminds me, we gotta wait for Sheen. I gotta do this. Here. Order of operations.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Lendal, what is your plan?
Well, they said they'd be at the Ugly Pony, so I'm teleporting in outside of it, between the Ugly Pony and the Savage Sausage.
Alrighty. You arrive in the garden courtyard between the two inns.
I'm back in my Lindahl persona now.
Yes.
So, I guess I'm waiting for them to come.
Okay.
Where are those blasted devils? They said they would be here. Why'd they wander off?
Because I can't cast Creator Restoration without Diamond Dust.
About 20 minutes pass. No one comes out to greet you.
But I'm
Sigh.
important. You did kind of request us to go get something that's kind of rare, so. You can always use another sending, not like you don't have a ton.
I don't have them prepared, and I don't have my spellbook with me.
Balls.
Triple reach Fleshworm infestation. Really?
Yep.
In case you
Yeah.
need, in case you need to fill someone with horrible worms at 1,000 feet distance.
Just in case,
It's
yes.
kind of like having a sniper rifle. You just bam.
I have triple reach excruciating deformation, too.
Uh-huh.
I'd like to point
Carry
out
on.
that even if we were at the Ugly Pony, nobody would know Lindahl's back there.
Yes. Another 20 minutes pass, and an old man comes out to sit in the garden and smoke. He takes little notice of you.
Greetings, sir. Greetings, good sir. Have you seen a half-orc recently?
The half what?
A half-orc and a dwarfy fellow.
How is someone a dwarfy fellow?
But be
They are
dwarfy.
or they are not a dwarf. To be dwarfy is to be like dwarf-ish, but not like the what?
I don't know, you can have a really tall and wide halfling.
I guess.
Or a human with dwarfism.
Oh, they look closer to like gnomes than dwarves, so it doesn't really fall.
You have to speak up, Sonny. You're looking
Have
for
you
half-
seen a half-orc?
Oh, yeah. In shiny armor, right?
That's the one.
Yeah. He came in with he came in earlier this morning. I don't know when that was. Kind of lose track of time, you know. Ever since the war, it's been really hard to keep track of time. I ever tell you about this one time? And
You haven't told me anything.
what?
You've never told me anything. This is the first time I've ever met you.
Oh, what you asking all these personal questions then for, boy? Get out of here.
Well, that's age for you.
I think we found a use for that triple reach fleshworm infestation.
Yeah.
Whatever you say. I'm gonna wander to somewhere where I can see him.
Mm-hmm.
Are you really?
Here.
Jesus.
Asshole. Not even hit him. My dex is so low now.
You're really hurting an old man for no particular reason other than he wasn't super polite to you.
Yes.
You know, at this rate, you're gonna get hit you're just gonna do that, and a paladin has to be within like, I don't know, a mile radius of you, and you'll come up like a beacon to that paladin, and he'll just come roaring in.
That's
It's
not
not
how
necessary-
detect evil works.
You
Yeah,
do an
really.
evil act, and often enough, he's gonna notice something.
That's not how detect evil works.
It's not.
Yes.
Someday,
That's
you're
how
gonna
they
If he
get...
have to
had,
make-
if a paladin had it running, or I had it running, I suppose, and he didn't
Yeah.
have undetectable alignment on,
Does he have it on?
Yes.
You know, the
Oh,
whole
it's a
big deal
spell.
about putting on the ring and casting the
I have
spell.
a ring of
and-
undetectable alignment back in my thing that casts it. I
On
can
the-
cast it once a day.
On the
Ah.
plus side, you do this shit enough, maybe a god will just send one to you.
His name is Lindor. Kill him.
So you go to one of the two alleys leading out of the courtyard. The one beside the Savage Sausage, or the one beside the Ugly Pony?
The ugly pony, I'm gonna go wait out front after I've hit him with this.
You make the necessary gestures, and the old man, mid puff of his pipe, grabs his chest, falls off of his bench, twitches a few times, and goes still.
Oh, that was fun. I'm gonna go wait out front.
Are standing on the Silver Road for the traffic to the North Market, and some few wagons that pass right through headed for one of the other two gates, or maybe the South Market, roll past constantly. Lots of foot traffic. Well, meanwhile, Fulton, Garouzen. You arrive at the road labeled Tottenham Curve, where it meets where it meets the side street that it comes off of, and in traveling down it, it takes a gentle turn to the left, and it's just houses along so far, but then it takes a really sharp curve to the right and bends clear around back on itself, and here there's a number of shops, all labeled. One or two of them is labeled with a simple name in common, but most of them are written in forgotten languages.
Well, explains the curve by the name.
Fulton would only know them if they're in Celestial or Abyssal.
I can do Dwarven, Elven, Undercommon, Draconic, Giant, and Common. So, unless it's certain one of those, I'm also lost.
Actually, you do spy one that is written in it's written using the common alphabet, but it takes you a couple tries at sounding it out, but you realize that it is actually just using the common alphabet to sound out Draconic.
Ah, alright, that'll be one we can use then. What's the title of it?
Let's see here. Messerweir's Tonics.
Not precisely what we're looking for, but he could give us directions. Want to
I'm
try it?
gonna check the stores that actually have signs in common.
Fair enough. Good luck finding those. I'll
Yeah,
join you.
well,
We best stick together around here. Just, it's full of magic wizards.
Are the shop titles in common?
We could try Regtans.
just Regtan's old every day. Not even sure what that's supposed to be selling.
I think it means like old everyday items, like he sells knickknacks. Be my guess. We can ask.
Well, before we go asking, I assume most of the stores have, windows and such.
Some
You're thinking
do,
of
but
entirely the wrong system.
Eh.
some of them are smoked opaque. Some of them are currently boarded up and in the process of being repaired.
Yeah, that's probably common.
Well, before we go in and ask directions anywhere, I'm just gonna walk down past all the ones with windows and see if I can spot anything gemstone-y looking.
Okay. You walk down the bend, following the road along to the right, and you find yourself coming up behind Garazin.
Hey,
Directions may be the best idea.
let's go talk to Rigton, then, or we can go to the Draconic shop. Your choice. The
Doesn't
potion
make
one.
much of a difference to me.
Rigton's it is. We go to Rigton's, knock, and then open the door, presumably it's a shop.
You step inside. There is a ring of a small bell that the door hits as you step through. And inside, there's clean white floors and many shelves, every single one of which has a small has a very small like sort of a cylindrical thin metal thin metal thing, like a mug, but it's sealed at the top. It's got a label. And the shelves are just full of them.
Interesting. Well, I approached the fellow at the counter then.
There is a old man, wears two monocles, not a set of glasses, two monocles.
Alright. Well,
While
works, man.
Garazin talks to him, I'll just go check some of those labels.
Hello, my fine sir. I do hate to bother you, but you're sounding just rather curious. What do you mean by old every day?
Everyday old items, lad.
Ah, I see. Well, we actually have a few questions around this area. Our grasp of most languages is surprisingly wide, but not as esoteric as the obvious intelligent folk around here. I'm able to read Draconic, for example, Elven, Dwarven, Giant, and Undercommon fairly decently, and my friend actually knows a bit of Celestial. But things such as Infernal and whatnot, the really advanced stuff, escape us. So obviously what we're looking for might not necessarily be in here, but we have to ask before we start having to ask for directions. Do you happen to have, what do you need fault again? Diamond dust or something? Yeah, diamond dust.
Ah, I should. Down the second line of shelves there, on the right, should be at about knee height on you, good sir.
Fair enough, thank you. The
I'll
second
go
thing
and check.
on my end is I would like my shirt enchanted. Is that particular something you can do, or do I have to talk to a specialist around here?
I'm afraid everything I sell is already in these cans. But if you're looking for something permanent or something to wear,
Permanent for the shirt I'm currently wearing. I would like a simple like a prestidigitation kind of thing. I've unfortunately, in my line of work, I run into a lot of stains and that sort of thing, and I need something to clean quickly, if you understand.
something to wear. Very good, very good. Yes, there's a shop just 3 doors down across the street. I can never pronounce his name right, but I'm sure you'll figure it out.
Thank you kindly. 3 doors down on the right. Thank you. And I'll head there once Fulton has discovered his thing.
Looking
Fulton.
for the dust.
You walk down the aisle, and yeah, it's just many of these little like fist-sized metal cylinders with labels on, and it seems like there's only like 5 or 6 of each different thing. The labels change every few items down, and you go to where you were directed, and you pull out one of these, and it says on the label,
Troy? It's the exact same label and the next one over.
Yes.
Does anyone know what the Troy means?
Could ask.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, Falta will pick that one up and look back towards the counter. What does the Troy mean on the label?
Oh, it's the unit of measurement, lad. A troy fluid ounce.
Ah. So here's something I've never actually seen, out of character, I mean. How much is 5,000 gold piece for the diamond dust?
How much is it in, like, amount?
Yeah. Because they never quite say that, they just say you have to spend this much to get it.
I would guess, considering it's diamond, and that's probably not something easily accessible, probably a through 3 fluid ounce bottle, honestly. I mean,
Is there a
it's powdered,
price
so-
anywhere?
There is a price beneath it. It says... let's see here. Yes, it says 100 platinum.
It's 1,000 gold, right?
Yep.
So I need 5 of these.
You notice that there is also on the same shelf that there is also 6 fluid ounce and 12 fluid ounce cans.
Okay, well the 12 fluid ounce would be 4/5 of what I need when I get this. That'd be 15
So you get
fluid
that
ounces.
one and the other. You get the big one and one small one. There you
Yeah,
go.
he'll grab the biggest one and
How much is the
has.
big one? Double check that. It's probably the same price.
Oh yeah, it's probably but yeah, let's double check that.
The price scales linearly.
Alright,
Okay.
good. You never know, they might do bulk deals.
Possible, I suppose.
I mean, Diamond Dust is something used actually rather commonly in powerful spells, so...
A little bit, yeah. So yeah, he'll take the 12 ounce and the 3 ounce one up to the counter.
Okay, back in just a second.
Okay.
He rings you up on the cash register. He has one. He's a wizard.
Magic cash register.
How is he supposed to keep track of all this shit?
I don't know, you can write it down.
You know how long that would fucking take? There's not enough paper in this entire world.
Magic.
Back.
Very good. So he brought it up to the cash register, which the that wizard we declared just has because he's a wizard.
Very good. Let's see here. Starts tapping on this on this odd mechanism that makes little dinging sounds every time he pushes one of the little levers down. Ding, 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 ching. There we go.
He
So
hand us a slip of paper.
Uh,
You know what? This is actually a place that would have receipts, considering how they handle like monetary stuff in bulk.
so let's see here. The 2 cans of precious diamond powdered. That will be 500 platinum pieces, or the equivalent, or the equivalent in reasonable currency.
Well, I have that. So
Give them in arrowheads.
The platinum arrowheads won't take very long.
right. Fulton take out his coin pouch and hand it over.
Which includes some paper currency.
Yeah. He's got a mishmash in there at this point, I imagine.
We all do.
He has to, the old man has to give you some change, but otherwise you manage to count it all out.
I should
There.
probably visit a money changer at some point.
Will you
Aye.
will you need a bag for that, laddie?
No, I should be fine, thank you.
Very well. Do come back to Reglin's Old every day.
We might very well do that. Thank you for your time.
Aye, we may. Thank you.
Oh, you have a can opener, don't you?
I have a sword.
I've got tools.
That might be a bit messy. Here, I still have a complimentary. And he
Thank you.
hands you this little thing that... just a length of metal with a odd tooth on the end. Just place it under the rim and pull.
I see. Thank you again.
Useful little bit tool right there. I have something similar to that, but it's a bit smaller. It's used to pry, well, I ain't gonna explain it. You ain't interested.
As you go out through the door, that bell above it rings again.
Right, so 3 to the right. I go into that shop.
And Fulton will put the diamond dust into his handy haversack. Along with the can opener.
Put that on your list. You never know when you can use a can opener.
This one does have a label, but not a label, a sign in, oh, drat. Celestial, there we go.
Oh, Celestial. I can read
So what's it
this.
say? Oh,
G's enchantments.
What?
Yes.
G's enchantments. Alright, I'm taking this. I'm thinking there's an outsider in there. What do you think? Or a gnome. Outsider or a gnome. What do you think?
It is in Celestial.
I don't mean squat, I'm just saying that name. That or he screwed up on the sign, but I'm guessing it's a gnome or a celestial. Yeah. You got any bets to have, or we just heading in?
Probably best to just head in.
Try and spoil sport. Yes, I head in.
Oh, I forgot to press this. Let me just do that really quick. Doo-doo.
Good. You step inside the door, and inside there appears to be a hallway that leads to the back.
Follow that hallway.
You'd like to, but you slowly descend, like not on you. I mean, it's sloped downwards. By the time you reach halfway down, Garazin has to be bent at the waist.
So I'm crawling.
The fuck is going on with this fucking room? I yelled at it. Oi! G. Let us the bloody hell in.
It's... Come on in.
I can't fit.
I assure you will.
Alright. Keeps going.
You keep crawling, and eventually, though the ceiling keeps getting lower, you feel like there's more clearance above you, and you can eventually stand.
That's with the squeezy room. You afraid?
That is what you
wanted. Is he afraid ogres are gonna visit?
You look back down the hallway, and you can see the front door towering above you all the way at the far end.
Oh, that's what he did. Huh.
Interesting.
Weird. Alright. That means he's a... Oh, no. Well, I guess it makes sense. Let's keep going. Oh, boy.
You go in through the door at the end, and you find yourself in a room that, considering your adjusted sense of scale, is probably about a square foot. And there's all kinds of garments hanging on hooks and hanging on bars all around the room. Everything's brightly colored in all kinds of ways, and you can smell the some dyeing vats somewhere around here. And you can see some movement in the back, but you can't see the shopkeeper directly yet.
Honestly, I can't bloody well make the sound of your name, and I'd be apologizing for that. I just don't have the lungs for it. So, you're the shopkeeper, right?
Yes, that's me.
Aye, that sound I can't make. So you who are we tossed? So I'll get right into it. I wish to make a purchase.
Ah, good. Shirt, pants, jacket.
Shirt that I need it to be able to cast upon me prestidigitation or some other similar cleaning spell to affect everything in my possession.
Ah, a vest of cleansingness. A
Pretty
most
much.
popular item.
Alright. Makes it easy to acquire, then, I imagine.
Ah, very well. Just on your left when you came in, there should be a rack of bright green. You might think it's turquoise shirts.
I turn and look to my left.
There's many racks of different shirts, but there is a set of turquoise ones.
Alright. These ones. Alright. I'm holding it.
Just come on to the back.
Alright, I'll go to the back.
You wander your way through several layers of vestments and past several racks and have like a few turns, but you eventually reach the back wall.
How many customers do you have?
Oh,
You must do shipments.
never know when someone might need to come in with a sudden need, so I keep a good stock at all times.
Fair enough.
Good business practice.
Aye.
You take your bright turquoise dyed silk shirt, head around to the back, and you find at the at the back there's a bench where there's 4 sewing machines all lined up beside each other. Like not sewing, weaving machines all lined up. And there is a giant spider, or at least giant from your perspective, busily working away, weaving new garments.
This is the second time I've come across an intelligent spider. Nah, I'll just roll with it at this point.
Is that all you will be needing?
For me, unless my companion wants something.
Anything for you, good sir? Maybe
At the
just
moment, I think I'm fine, but
maybe just a pretty scarf. I'm sure
Maybe
I
you
can
want some
find
iron.
something in your tone of green.
But considering what I'm getting, and considering between the two of us we have no ability to clean ourselves, only considering our adventures so far, I suggest you pick up one. Because it only affects myself, right? I can't, make it affect others, presumably, if I wear this.
Only the wearer.
I see, you might want to pick one up yourself.
I believe I may be full up on magical clothing.
I'm presuming it doesn't take up a space.
Oh yes, guaranteed non-interference.
Hey,
Really?
this fella knows what he's doing.
Aye, that would be a very useful thing. Well, we'll go back out and grab one.
Right, so that's 2 of them. If you, how much?
I'm just double checking my math here.
One in dwarf size, one in orc size, if that makes any difference.
Fortunately, it does not this time.
Also, it's kind of clear that Fulton is going to have to be paying for this.
Probably, yes. I paid the majority price for the manacles and special bullets and stuff, but and rope. I remember buying everyone rope because we didn't have rope like morons last time.
Okay, let's see here. Prestidigitation by command word. Slotless, but only. So yes, once a day, command word prestidigitation. It keeps you clean for 1 hour. But the only effect it is capable of is cleanliness and very minor glamours. It can't do anything else that prestidigitation does.
Fair enough.
So you can change the color of your shirt, but you can't change your whole appearance or anything.
Ah, alright, fair enough. Not that prestidigitation could really, manage that anyway.
You
Yep.
can, there's a lot of stuff you can change with prestidigitation: your eye color, your hair length. Nothing that gives you a mechanical benefit, though.
Exactly, is my point. I mean, if I wanted to be a blonde dwarf for some reason, this thing couldn't handle it, is the point.
Yes. Nothing that would give you a bonus better than 0 to disguise.
Could it make your disguise bonus worse?
Yes.
Possibly. So that will be just 300 of the Baron's crowns apiece.
Well, I can fork over 100 of that, and I guess you'll handle the rest.
So Fulton will hand over 500.
And you now each have a limited prestidigitation slotless silk shirt.
So I've been trying to pronounce that name.
It's a trilling sound. I can't. I'm a dwarf.
I'm also just going under the reasoning that if it was in Celestial, Fulton might know how to say it. But I've been trying to actually figure out how to do it.
It's just... So, you know how you roll your R, right?
Yes,
Put a
I
T
haven't
on
done
it.
it in years.
Put a G on it.
Just do that at a higher pitch.
What did you call this again? Like what was the name of these shirts? Something like shirts of cleansing or something, right?
Vests of cleanliness.
No, I really can't do it.
So you could say it's the vest of godliness.
Well, if you're so inclined.
Thornton just smiles. Thank you greatly for your time, and he's probably got to take off his chest plate to get it on, but he'll do that in a bit.
Do enjoy and pass the word. I'm
I shall.
always open, and if there's any problems with them, bring them right back, and I'll do my best to replace them. I make them myself, and I take great pride in them.
You should. They're very finely made.
Indeed they are.
Have yourselves good days.
I have a rather strange question, actually. Unless I'm completely mad, we did shrink, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. And it's going to sound silly, but how in the universe did you do that without us? I don't know how to put this. Normally, when a dwarf senses magic, it's a little harder to fiddle with us. Didn't seem to have any problem with that one, though.
Why should it?
I'm not sure how magic works when it acts with me. I just know that when it tries to do stuff with me, it tends to encounter roadblocks. That didn't, so I was just curious if he did anything strange. Presumably when we leave, it'll come off, right?
Oh, yes, that reminds me. There is a meter stick attached to the wall just inside the door. Just make sure that all is well on your way out.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you for your time and your merchandise.
Good day.
Good day. And we leave, and I measure myself to be sure I get the right height when we get to her.
Uh-huh.
I was actually a little tall for a dwarf at 4'3", so I do want to make sure I have my inches on me. I guess I'm a little tall.
Okay, let's see here.
Fulton's super tall.
Oh, you're also a half-orc, so
Yeah.
I'm just, for a dwarf, I'm a bit taller than the average, just like a tiny shade, which to dwarves matters.
Okay, so Fulton, you should have no trouble reading Garazan's height, but Garazan, how are you going to see over Fulton's head to read his height on the wall?
I'm going to climb on him. Actually, I was just hoping he'd give me a leg up.
How heavy is Garazan?
210 pounds.
I can
without
pick that
armor
up.
or anything.
210 nude.
Okay.
Actually, to be fair, my armor, actually, despite being full plate, does not weigh all that much due to being mithril and other things. It only weighs like 12 pounds, so
Unless you're carrying double your weight, Fulton can still
I'm
just
not-
pick you up.
Not really, no. I weigh maybe, like, the most extreme I can think of. It's not even going to be like 300 pounds, because most of the stuff I carry isn't really all that heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Then Fulton's
Like-
going to pick Grazin up. and
Surprisingly
ask him
light.
how tall he is.
I checked.
Fulton, you are 7'2".
That's a height gain.
Were you always this tall?
No.
You want to stay this tall?
I don't have a particular problem with it.
Alright, welcome to being even taller than me. Welcome to the Taller Than a Dwarf Club, along with everyone else except gnomes, halflings, and that guy.
Garazin, you are now 4 foot even.
Damn it, I lost some inches. I think you gained my inches, so you have to go back and try again. I do that, I go back and try again, at least on my end.
I'll wait and see if it does anything with just Grazin going back.
You head down the passage to the shop end.
I turn back around and march myself over.
You are now 4'2".
Still off by an inch. I'll be back. To a dwarf, an inch matters.
Yeah, this is very important to you, isn't it?
I'm a dwarf. We need every inch we can get. You know how hard an inch off is the difference between are you comfortable at a table and are you not comfortable at a table. I like being comfortable. Back I go.
That's
You are
what
now-
she said.
You are now 4'6".
I am content with this height.
You are now a very tall dwarf.
Alright. Does my weight change?
Not noticeably, or at least you don't have a scale at hand to notice width.
4'6". It's a very tall dwarf. For dwarves. I mean, you're still short, but... It's a little taller than I'm used to, but then again, that means I can sit at tables more comfortably. I'm good with it.
Meanwhile, Fulton has gotten 4 inches taller.
Well, we both just got taller out of this experience. I can live with that.
Yeah. Back to the ugly pony.
I need to tell every single dwarf I know about this place. They'll pay money just to go in and out just to see if they can get a few more inches.
But if no dwarf is short,
No, we're still pretty short. Let's admit it. None of us are going to top 5 foot.
Lindahl,
Standing at the front and looking at a non-existent watch, tapping my feet. I really should get a sundial.
You have been waiting just a little bit over an hour when you see 2 familiar shapes come walking down the road towards you.
But they're taller.
Oh no, it's Lockhart, run, run.
I need to get me
Other
a scale.
familiar shapes. No, it's not your parents either.
I need to be
Rosen
3
and Fulton.
inches, so for a dwarf, that's almost 20 pounds.
Well, that's good. That would be scary since they're dead.
That's why I mentioned it.
necromancers abound.
They're very useful.
Damn you, foul clerics. I killed them for a reason. I don't know.
Don't know what birds have to do with it, but there you go.
So I put down Gorson gained 3 inches and thereby gained almost 20 pounds because dwarves are thick bastards. Assuming it's scaled instead of just
comment.
adding inches.
I'm
put
just
that
going to
down for my
assume that
notes.
Grazin ate too much.
Well, it scales, so I had to do a little bit of math.
Yep.
And like I said, I had to ask, does it scale? Because it would actually change his appearance somewhat. Anyway. Assuming he looks the same, then his weight went up, is what I'm getting at. So,
Yeah.
we see Lindahl perfectly alive, and I wave and go, nice to see you, man. I don't know. Apparently you're this guy's friend. Whatever. There you go. And go to find she.
Still don't know where she is.
Oh, no idea.
Any chance you
Lindell.
can turn your fan away from your mic there, Chris?
Oh no, that's not the fan. That's actually the vacuum. Someone's vacuuming. Hold on.
Okay.
I'll just be quiet till they're done.
Okay.
Because I need to wait for she anyway. So. Yeah.
Lindahl, good to see that you're okay.
Yes.
Ah, what's with this dead man being devoured by worms?
We'd have to go outside. We'd have to go back.
Also, he's not
A,
being
he's in
devoured
the
by worms.
back, and B, I gave him excruciating deformation, not fleshworm infestation.
Oh. Oh God, what is that?
He's a massive flesh in the back.
Let me check the thing really quick. How far away did that man die from, like, the inside of the inn?
From the interior?
Yeah.
Do you hear?
Sorry, I'm not on the Ugly Pony. Or...
Yep. Well, the bench he was sitting on was at least. Oh, there we go. Was at least 35 feet from any doors. Were you thinking a particular spot?
No. Fulton has Death Watch eyes. But when he
Okay.
gets within 30 feet, he's going to know that there's a dead person out there.
You're going to be in line of sight of him laying dead beside the pond in the garden in the backyard. You're going to have line of sight before you're in that range.
Okay.
Currently, you guys are out front of the Ugly Pony.
Alright. Well, Lindahl, let's go inside and get you this restoration.
Very well. Does anyone know where the summoner is?
No. I'm gonna go look to Grazin.
Grazin just shakes his head and sits down on a chair outside in the front and says, I'm just going to wait for her to show up, I suppose. If she doesn't show up by tonight, though, you might send in her summit.
Unless you're bringing a chair with you, there's no chairs out front. It's a busy street.
No, I'll go on the back then.
Go around to the garden and back?
Yeah, I remember there being, like, benches and stuff back there.
Yes,
Oh,
let us
right.
go to the garden. I don't see any problems.
Alright. You already sent her ascending, you said?
I already sent her one. She has not replied.
That means she's either fallen unconscious or fallen unconscious. Both are bad. Alright, I guess I'll wait for her out back.
So we're heading around to the garden.
Yes,
Well, I am.
let us
You
go
guys
out
can-
back.
You guys
Yep.
can head inside and get him cured, but I'm just gonna head to the back.
Just a second. Just need to grab Lindahl off of... Yeah, just need to grab something to represent Lindahl there.
Well, hey, if Lindahl wants to go in the garden, we could do a restoration in the garden.
You guys
That
come
seems
around.
like the best place to go to right now.
You go through the alley that runs alongside the Ugly Pony, round back. Looks like there's an old man sleeping in the garden there. Might be he looks too well dressed to be a beggar.
I let him be, and I go to sit on a bench.
Odd place to sleep.
Hmm.
He's just resting. You've nailed him to the bench.
Just as soon as I'm in 30 feet, I'll know he's dead.
Just a second.
If you hadn't nailed him to the bench, you'd be pushing up daisies. Well, I have a good news, bad news. I have good news, bad news for you guys.
Aye.
The good news is that that house definitely does lead to the man we're looking for. The bad
Good.
news is he now has all of my stuff.
That explains your lack of paraphernalia.
Why does he have all of your stuff?
Yeah, that's the other question, isn't it?
Oh, he took it when he murdered me. It's not really important.
I think it is. Am I alone? Pretty sure that's a pretty big detail.
He murdered you.
Oh yes, very brutally, after a nice long round of torture.
And I
got
see
better.
you are here standing before us, so I assume you had a contingency plan.
Yes, which is why I need the restoration.
I see. Well, give me a moment to go prepare that rate of restoration, and we can be on our way.
Yes, you should go prepare it over by that bench.
It is at that point,
I'm not
Fulton.
saying that.
Yeah, that might be a little too on the nose. It is at this point, Fulton, you become aware that the old man is dead.
Grazin, get the guard.
What? Alright.
Man is dead.
What do you mean a man? Okay. God. God. God.
Oh my. Can you discern how he died?
God.
Well, time for immediate checking over of wounds, stab wounds, arrows, whatever.
The heal check, essentially. Like run
there are
around
no-
asking for guards.
Yes. A heal check. But just with your eyes, you can see no outward signs of trauma.
I forget if heal is trained only.
I believe it is.
Alright,
I think it's for some things it's trained only, and other things it's not. Like, I think you'd stabilize someone regardless of training, but I don't know. I think. I don't remember.
But I can make a flat wisdom check if you want, but...
Oh, no, you can do it untrained, so long as you have at least a +0 on the stat modifier.
Okie dokie.
So, Wiz, yeah, you got it.
Doo-doo.
Hey!
That's 20.
There we go. Yes. He's already in like all of his limbs are taut and held in position, almost like he's in rigor, but his body's still too warm for that. It seems like he must have had a heart attack or died while in some kind of really nasty seizure. Could have been just a natural age.
Yeah, old heart attack.
He doesn't have any signs on him of torture, which is the only other circumstance that you'd see this kind of inward turning on himself.
But the fact that it happened outside where we've now fought a mimic...
Garozin, you are returning with a pair of guards you found out on the street.
Well, this is incredibly unfortunate. I was only talking to this man a little over an hour ago. I was asking him if he'd seen you.
This way, lads. We found a body of an old man and died of, I don't know, so to go get guards.
Excuse us, sirs.
Fulton's gonna glance up at, I assume, what is still the broken window that they jumped through.
The broken glass has been removed, and there's a pair of boards over it now.
Yeah, with either we're, fighting a magical creature here, now somebody's just dead outside of it, he's gonna cast a Technodirk.
Let's see here.
Whatever aura my spell left on him is long gone.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yep.
It would appear to be a heart attack, Guardsman.
Oh, hold up. What spell level is excruciating deformation?
3.
Okay, yeah, it would be faint. It fades in d6 rounds. Okay. Yep. There is the auras from you guys, what you're wearing. One of the guardsmen apparently is actually carrying an enchanted weapon, although very lightly enchanted. But nothing else of note here in the courtyard.
Mm.
On a few seconds more inspection, looks like it's just a simple +1 sword that guard is carrying. Might be an inherited item or something.
Fulton will close the old man's eyes before letting the guards presumably take him away.
I'm sorry, sir. I don't recognize you. You one of the city mortuary?
No, simply a traveler.
Oh,
Here on holy cause.
then I must ask you not to touch the body, sir. It interferes with investigation.
I apologize.
How was this body found?
As is.
Yes, we only just stepped out here.
Oh, very good. Are you guests of the tavern here?
No. Well, they are, but
We are, though perhaps for not much longer.
Well, I don't precisely blame you, sir. Very well. We'll deal with this. Thank you for bringing it to our attention, citizen. Says that last bit more like he's reading a script than actually saying it.
Well, that is very unfortunate.
Yes.
Meanwhile, Shinalar.
Does she awake?
You awaken to a bunch of shouting and raised voices in the courtyard outside your window.
How long did she get to sleep?
She is still fatigued, but she's no longer exhausted.
Well, she's unhappy for the interruption and the fact that she fell asleep. So she'll definitely get up, check out the window, see what she can see.
You see your various traveling companions talking to a member of the city guard over that a body? Hopefully you guys aren't to blame for that one.
At least they're safe.
And it is just as you're looking out the window and rubbing the sleep out of your eyes that you receive a sending from Lindahl. Brad, any chance you can repeat that message? Given that you can see him down in the courtyard there, either he's very good at casting spells while walking about, or that was sent to you while you were asleep. You can respond with a message of up to 25 words, if you like.
Scrifflander, Scrifflander, Scrifflander.
Just start reciting a dictionary.
Turns out the zebra did it.
That's all that's really needed.
Lindal, you receive
Shelinar
this.
is coming. She must be able to see us from wherever she is.
That's comforting. I guess we'll just wait then. And go our separate ways, people I don't know.
That pretense might not
So
last
is this
long.
guard in the body still supposed to be here?
Yes, he's standing over the body while the other guard goes and fetches the mortuary.
I knew I should have prepared Hellfire Ray.
Well, you're
Fulton
going to
will
hell
go
anyway,
the
so what do you
other
care?
side of the lake.
Pond. Shinilar, are you just going out through the window, teleporting, or going around to the...
Being as there's a guard, she'll go around the more casual way.
Okay. You head back out into the hall, through the giant steam room. It sounds like the night's activities have died down, and in fact you can see through the thinner steam now that it seems there's a giant orgy down there. People of every different
missed
color
that,
and
man.
orientation. They're all just still splayed out there, sleeping in a massive heap of nude.
The Fulton token on the Ugly Pony map is not updated to loot inventory.
Correct. Just keep using the one on the inventory, please.
Alright.
Well, she won't be very surprised. She's probably seen a lot worse or stranger.
You make your way out the front door.
Fulton will just be trying here to get greater restoration.
And you can take control of your token yourself from here.
There you are. Alright, so I guess we need to bring you up to speed. Speaking of, I need to get more sleep in, or... Damn it, oh, there's no wizard over there that can help with sleeping anyway.
Yes, I apologize. I fell asleep.
I did the same last. Apparently no nightmare monsters ate us, so that's a plus. I'll probably be getting some more sleep tonight anyway. You know what, I'll just swing by Magicians or something. I'll go back to the quarter and see if they have something for sleep or something. I really don't care that bad, though. Yeah, we have a lead to follow up on, so that we're finally together, more or less ready to go. We can actually go follow up on it, can't we?
Fulton will lave Lindall over for the greater restoration. And pull those cans of diamond dust out of his bag and start trying to open them.
Gore's gonna lead she around, explain everything that happened to her in detail in case she has any questions, and say he's more or less ready to go after their lead now.
Yeah, the mansion of Havelock Heart seems to be some sort of gathering place, but there's a teleportation spell that leads somewhere. I'm not sure to where.
Well, you two can follow up on that thing you discovered. Me and her are gonna go try and follow up on our lead.
I really don't think any less than a full team should go after Mr. Hart.
And you were certain that...
Are you really sure that's like, we get one chance to play our hand, we play it too early, he's gonna know we're after him.
Took me out of impersonating. I don't know.
You say quietly away from the guard.
Yeah, well.
Considering he managed to capture and murder me, I don't think going in with less than the full team is very bright.
Fulton, you successfully crack open the cans of diamond dust, rub it into Lindall's the face and arms,
Eyes?
Grind them in.
and then it dissolves away into his skin, healing all his ails,
Showing his now blind eyes.
including his now blind eyes.
Oh, why'd you put out my eye? What's wrong with you?
I thought it would be fun.
Or at least
Get in
that's
there.
how I'm just going to say that particular spell's the use of the Raging Worst, because otherwise, what the hell?
You burn it.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
diamond
used as a
burns
material
easily, does
component.
it?
Yes.
Apparently.
That's
Did you
Solid
eat it?
carbon. It wouldn't burn in a pure fluorine gas environment.
Magic.
Yeah,
Magic.
it just pops out of existence. It's subsumed by the spell, just like your Batwing or whatever is.
I always have the opinion Pharasma is literally collecting all that diamond dust in all the world. She's going to use it for something. Maybe a solid diamond golem. I don't know.
Now she has a mountain she's made out of diamond in her backyard that just gets bigger every time somebody casts.
She's running out of ideas to what to do with it.
Oh, look, someone sent me more glitter.
Throws it around.
That totally
Hooray.
seems like Pharasma's bag to me.
So Lindal no longer has negative levels.
Hooray. If we're going to do what you're planning to do, I say we wait for night, so I'll just go to sleep. But, if that's what we're doing.
Well, I would like to see if we can find where it is. I assume divination magic didn't work on me since nobody came to my rescue.
No, didn't
No,
work.
it failed. Even discern location, actually.
Yeah, well, some pretty
Well-
potent stuff was tried.
Do you have a discern location prepared?
I will look the sheet, because she used all of them last time.
I don't think she's actually prepared anything yet, or refreshed her spell list.
She
Yeah.
has not had 8 hours
No.
of rest yet.
Unfortunately, I need more rest. I've been
If
up
she-
too long.
If she gets another 4 hours of sleep starting within the next hour, then she'll be fine. Otherwise, she'll need a full 8 hours once she does get where she's going.
Okay, so I figure. Sorry. The man thinks I'm dead. If he still has my stuff in his possession, he probably doesn't have it protected from scrying magic anymore. We might be able to find where he is with a discern location on my spellbook or robe or some such.
It's a good plan. Would we, by chance, be able to use your mansion for rest? I am done with these places.
Yes,
I can
but we
second
will
that.
have to go. Yes, but we will have to teleport back to my lair. That's where my mansion is.
Fair enough. He calls it a lair.
Everybody coming close.
And you guys pop away, leaving the guards there, standing there, going, "What? Where'd they go?"
You live in the world of D&D. You had to have seen at least one person teleport you. Sheltered son of a
Hello?
gun.
Hello?
But then he thinks he was hallucinating.
None of it happened. He just found a body.
That
He
pond
did.
is filled with swamp gas.
I totally murdered that guy.
Yeah, you did.
Oh.
You're lucky the magic signature didn't stay very long.
It's only a level 3 spell.
Yeah, he wouldn't have done it if he knew the magical signature would stick around forever.
Or even like an hour long.
Even Fleshworm Infestation wouldn't sit around that long. Although Fleshworm Infestation won't actually kill people.
Well, excruciating.
Excruciating deformation will, because it eats away at your con.
Yep. And you target an old man who had a con of 3. And a save modifier of -1.
His
That
day
was-
was shit.
That's what he gets for being slightly rude to me, probably due to a mental illness caused by his advanced age.
That's what he deserves for being anywhere near you with us not being near you at the same time. Just don't let him out of your
Someday,
sight.
This is not going to end well.
No, it's not. Just don't keep him, keep it in your sight from now on, eh?
No, but when that day comes, it will be glorious.
You guys manifest in a dimly lit and in a dimly lit room with oppressive pressure all around. You feel like you must be underground somewhere, because you have all been deep underground before.
I feel comfortable.
And there's a large vat of glowing green fluid over at one end of the room, and a sparkling manifestation of the door into a mansion around an actual door on the other wall.
I'll be taking the door, and I'm just not going to question your green vat of evil.
It's a green vat of science.
With the exclamation mark.
Fulton will just blink a few times, then head for the door.
Chandelier is too tired to care.
For the glorious bedchambers.
So, yes, we need to see if we can find where I was actually held. Otherwise, our best bet is to infiltrate the Havelock mansion and start annoying people till their master appears, and I don't think that's going to happen. Or just knock people out, take their uniforms, and go down and say we need healing. Giant wasps attacked us.
It worked out so well.
That's how he captured you.
If you're asking how we're going to get in, I'll answer that when I wake up in the morning. Where's the nearest bedchamber? There's a bed.
They're all upstairs.
That's
That's the master bedroom, and it's locked. Your bedrooms are upstairs.
I go upstairs to get some sleep, saying I'll come up with a theory how to get in the morning, probably involving explosives.
Fair enough.
And Chandelier is even less talkative than usual, and just goes to bed.
And Fulton goes to the kitchen.
Oh my god, food. Glorious food. Last time I had anything to eat, it was a raw potato.
I miss that potato.
My mansion is pretty ballin'.
Fulton will probably sleep at some point, but since he only needs 2 hours...
So extra rest doesn't hurt.
I need 8 now, because Jackass has my robe.
Oh.
We eventually find him, he's wearing all your shit.
He's like, oh yeah,
You know-
this is very nice.
When I kill him, I better get my crap back, or he better have better crap on him. That's all I gotta say.
It's probably going to be a combination of both.
Of course, I'm afraid he might have a clone now, too, so I really need to knock him out, flesh to stone him, and then keep him forever in my garden.
As you do.
I don't know how
Actually,
okay the rest of us would be okay with that, you know.
There are spells that, like, trap people's souls, aren't there?
The other-
Yes.
The other idea I had was knocking him out with fleshworm infestation, fitting him with a ring of sustenance and a necklace of adaptation, and burying him 30 feet underground on the elemental plane of Earth.
When you just get eaten by whatever it is that lives there.
Someday.
Eventually. Until then, he gets to be buried alive, completely conscious of that.
Oh, alright.
So,
And he can't go back to his clone body. But given the DM ways to get rid of my character if I start getting too annoying.
so we will continue this when you guys are rested and ready to take on, well, somebody. Hopefully not the city.
I hope not.
I will take on the whole city. I will give each of them fleshworm infestation.
It's a lot of casting.
Yeah, you might be there a while.
Pew, pew, pew.
And you're out.
Just let me gain one more level so I can take split slot and get more spell slots to cast it with.
Oh, I'm not taking that. That's not worth it.
Yeah, I know. But it is one of the only real ways to increase the number of spell slots you've got on a... for, lots of low-level spells.
Or you take a pearl of, what is it, like a pearl of power and a ring of wizardry and just go nuts.
Mm.
Yeah, but that wouldn't work because I need to use Breach. A Ring of Wizardry 4 is way too expensive.
Mm.
And I'd still only get excruciating deformations with it.
Well, I'm gonna head off then.
Yep, I will see you all next week.
A successful adventure. We managed to unscrew ourselves.
For now.
Yes, for
No,
now.
And now we're
I
gonna
still
go
don't have
re-screw
any of my-
ourselves.
Everything
I
is
don't have any of
doomed.
I don't have any of my equipment, and I feel like I really didn't have a chance against this guy in a one-on-one fight when I had my equipment, so yay.
Well, we're coming with you
If
this
you
time,
hadn't
so
arrived unconscious, I'd give you 50-50 odds.
Can I know out of character how that happened? Did my strength get reduced or what?
what, unconsciousness?
Yeah, well, yeah.
No, how you fell unconscious?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a con reducing aura and a symbol of sleep.
I just presumed he had a
Ah.
specific. I just presumed he had a specific
So,
enchantment. If you're not a friendly, you get knocked unconscious.
Symbol of sleep. Okay.
Yeah, so there's a con reducing effect there that drops your con low enough that you did fall below 150. If your con was 1 higher, it wouldn't have.
Oh, I see. Being small, then having the con reducer knocked me down, and then the symbol of sleep got me. Okay.
Yep.
That's fun.
So, see you all next week.
So, yep.
Yeah, have a good one. Bye.
Right.
Alright.
Bye-bye.